What's cracking? What's cracking? What's cracking? Welcome to the Monday night edition of Outlaw Radio, live from the basement. Normally, Mondays and Wednesdays, we're here from 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time until whenever we choose to cut the machine off. My name is Kevin Barnes. I'm the host of Outlaw Radio. The Outlaw family will come along as we proceed. But man, how y'all doing out there? 414 stand up. Capital Drive and Atkinson stand up. I always say that, but keep Capital Drive and Atkinson in our prayers. It is a lot going on in the neighborhood. Lord have mercy. It's a lot going on in the city, though. So tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Outlaw Radio is in effect, man, as they say. We used to say that back in the day. We in effect, right? In effect. So tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Y'all holler at me. There's a number attached to the show. That number is 262 202 5131. Once again, it's 262-202-5131. Share the show. Share the show. Please share the show. Dion, I see you in the chat room, homie. I see you there. I see you there. Let's get it together, y'all. It's Monday night, man. We kind of wrap up a week and then we start one out. This is what we normally do on Outlaw Radio. So, but over the past, oh shit, man. Over the past 3 weeks to a month, I knew a lot of people who perished, and the violence in Milwaukee is just crazy, 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 mentally retarded, out of control right now. And so I was a little emotional, right? I absolutely did what I always talk shit about other brothers doing, which is I got in my feelings, right? I lost people. I was feeling a certain way. And if you listen to the last show, I said stuff like, I was in favor of gentrification and I was tired of the streets. And you heard me saying all these kinds of things. And I got a call from somebody who I've known for a very long time. It's like, Kev, man, I hear you, but you kind of boo-booed on the streets. Like, and I'll explain this whole thing as we go along. But I was emotional, right? Like, so if you heard me snapping last week, because rest in peace to the homie T Rock and to the homie Yayo the Don. That shit ain't going nowhere. All of us with 24 shot over the weekend, 3 perished. a 1-year old, a 1-year old. Man, this shit is mentally. If we can we still say mentally retarded? I don't know. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. I'm not nowhere near politically correct, but I just this is sickening to me. And so I said some stuff about, but I came to the realization of this. Outlaw Radio really is, we really do rep the streets. There's a connection to the streets on Outlaw Radio because most of the cats that I deal with, in good faith, have known for a long time, have had some sort of involvement in the street one way or another. But what I understand is we represent the side of the streets that people don't know about, that maybe don't talk about, which is those that are in the know. We're very hip to what happens in the hood. We're very hip to how the game go and how to maneuver and how to operate. But we're in the know, and for the most part, we are able to keep ourselves above ground. I can't gloss over that connection because you can't really talk to cats who from the hood unless you've been in the hood, unless you lived in the hood, unless you know what it's about. You feel me? You can't go to them people and talk and act a certain way. You'll be a victim. So if and like I said, this show represents a demographic for us Gen Xers, realistically, from about 38 to about 58, I would say. That's in our demographic. So we're of a certain age. So, but people say you can't take the street out of you, but you can take it to somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be your life sentence to stay in the hood. So, and I was emotional with that. Real, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, man. Glad to be here. I had to go down to the office today, so I'm kind of tired, but it is what it is. It's over, and I get to enjoy the rest of my evening.
Absolutely, absolutely. Welcome to the show. It's live from
For
the
sure.
basement. It's what we normally do on Mondays. I'm not, this ain't your first rodeo, right? And we talk about a lot of important things. But like I was to catch you up real, I was saying last week I was, especially losing the homies that I had, I was a little emotional. So I started talking about I was in favor of gentrification. That was like if you listen, I was in favor of private prisons and all kinds of shit last week. And like I said, one of my homeboys called me and was like, "Yeah, man, but you, man, come on, man. Like,
Mm,
you, that ain't you. You. I understand why you upset, but that's not
yeah,
you."
I
And at
feel
first, I'm like any other black. I said what I said. What you say? I asked
you.
something to it before I take it back.
Hey, yeah, stand
Right,
on it.
right. But I thought about it and I said, but you know what? I my whole the way I even come off to people, people never mistake me for nothing but an urban black man, right? Like Milwaukee, when I speak, Milwaukee come out my face, right? It come out the face. And so I can't tell the hood or the community, fuck y'all. I hope they gentrify y'all. I made a
Yeah,
mistake in that realm. But y'all gotta understand I lost
it,
some cats that I loved. I lost two
yeah.
dudes back to back that I had love and respect for. So I was feeling a certain kind of way. But welcome to Outlaw
Shit.
Radio.
Hey,
Witch Doctor, you in the building, man. What's going on, man? Welcome back. Can he
Hey,
can Kamar is Kamar froze? He look like he
hey,
froze.
I'm here, man. It's good to be back.
Oh, okay,
oh,
okay.
there you go. There you go.
Oh, well, give me a second.
Right, right. Take you a second, right? Take you a
Yeah, give
second.
me a second, man. You know how my computer do it, man. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah,
Yeah, that
crank
motor
that
got to get to
motherfucker.
going a little bit in there.
Outside cranking
Yeah,
the
yeah,
generator
yeah,
and pull the string.
yeah, yeah.
Dion, I see you in the chat room. He says he on YouTube and Facebook. Shout out to Dion,
Peace,
man.
peace,
Shout out to you if you rock with us. Earl Henning, long time no hear, my brothers. He said, "What it do? How you doing, my brother? Welcome to the show."
peace.
He said, "Bro, I feel you in that shit last week. Motherfuckers want to live safe, bro. I be talking about motherfuckers living up here in Lomira and other little towns, but motherfuckers living in peace." Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? And I want to do this too, because Kamar, you wasn't here last week. You was in. Shout out to you. You was doing your thing, but I hope your thing is warmed up because I just want to give you a second to give your man's his flowers because I know that was your people, right? I was salty, so I can only imagine how you feel, right? I just want you to be able to do that.
Now, let me tell you, man, it broke me up, dog. Broke me up. I had just got out there on vacation. You know what I'm saying? That night, one of the homies called. It's hard to even talk about it still.
Right.
My best friend, brother, right?
Okay.
And the shit is so sad, man, because it's deeper than just that situation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's way bigger than that, man. You know what I mean? What I get out of it is I gotta create a space for brothers come talk when it's problem, when a space where the youth and the elders, men, can come and bridge gaps. You know what I'm saying? Because the little homie, man, who did it, the little homie who killed T Rock and Cray, that was T Rock nephew, man. That was T Buck's son. You know what I mean? There was so much going on, man. It was deeper than that. And even in that situation, it wasn't between the son and the uncle. You know what I mean? A bunch of other shit. But it's the resentment that the two brothers had that made it easy. It's too much, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's hard to even talk about, man. You know what I mean? But like I say, it's sad all around the board because, you know what I mean? We watched the little homie grow up. We raised the little homie, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, it's T Rock nephew, Buck's son. You know what I'm saying? Um, we lost 3. We didn't lose 2 lives. We lost 10.
And he's
Let me
been
pause
arrested.
for a second, y'all.
I got you. I
I
got you. I
feel you.
got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Listen, and he's been arrested. So I want people to say, hey, why are you saying that? No, this is it's in the People's News Network. He's been arrested. There's he's been charged. So this ain't dry snitching. And even if it was, who, right? Don't make me get back to
Right.
last week, right? Don't come at me with that
It's well
bullshit
known.
tonight.
It's well known on what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody know. Ain't nobody in the hood looking at it like you snitching if you talk about it. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's well known. Everything that happened is out in the air. You know what I'm saying?
We just like for it to be tight on Outlaw
It's
Radio. So
just
if you're in
sad.
doubt, right? So it's a police report attached to this. Let me catch Dion. He says, I don't like the feeling of going outside and
Yeah.
have to worry about someone who looks like me doing harm to me. Shit, motherfuckers just trying to live and enjoy life, travel, buy properties, and have fun. Absolutely, Dion. That's the name of the game, right? Earl Henny says Fox Point has some great new, beautiful apartments. I'm not ready to Fox Point myself. Sean Moore says condolences to you, brother. Kamar. Yeah, man. I told y'all, and I don't even have to put it up on the screen. Everything we're doing, man, is all dedicated to T Rock and Yayo to Don and everybody who's lost somebody in that regard, man. So that's
Hey,
always a
Craig,
factor
rest
in
easy,
what we
Craig.
do. Yeah.
Hey, hold on, hey, Kev, we got to give it up to Craig too, one of the twins.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if you
Absolutely.
remember, man. They used to do the roofing. The two twins in Kilo, they did the roofing.
I have a vague because I've made their
business. Like, this is a
acquaintance.
good brother, man. You know what I'm saying?
I've made his acquaintance. I
Yeah,
didn't know him like I
these
knew
brothers,
T-Rock.
man. They didn't have this. Right. Yeah, the brothers, man. They was him and T-Rock was like best friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
Craig. You know, they had this roofing business since they got out of high school, damn near. That's how long they've been working this thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he wasn't no wild nigga out here. You know what I'm saying? He was just a brother that was out here with us. You know what I mean? Hanging out, but he did roofing and shit like that. You know, he wasn't doing nothing, man, but looking out for his daughter. What they say happened, you know what I mean? The daughter and the young brother got into it. She was doing some shit to his car or whatever. Yeah, man, and it just took off like that, man. They said all this shit just took off in like 2 minutes. Everything just went fast. Alcohol, the alley, you know what I'm saying? Girls, and I always say, man, we got to start measuring our self-love by the way we let people treat us and by the situations that we allow ourselves to be put in. You know what I mean? Meaning, watch where you at. You know what I mean? Like I say, okay, it's midnight. You got alcohol. We in the alley. You know what I mean? There's some girls out here. Like, it's some shit bound to happen. Egos is sky high. You know what I mean? It's an opportunity for some bullshit to happen. It shouldn't happen because it's supposed to be all love out here. But unfortunately, man, ain't no love in these motherfucking streets. Let's keep that shit 100. Ain't no love out here in these streets. How many brothers just done got killed by people who they know in the last few weeks? You know what I mean? Motherfuckers getting killed by people in their hood who they grew up with. These niggas is old, man. It's too old. It's too late in the game to be dying from gunshots and shit. And these niggas is dying in their own hoods, man. Ain't no love out here.
It's funny
Get the fuck out the street, leave that shit alone, and do something with yourself.
It's funny that you're saying that because we came to the conclusion last week that really the only way you could possibly try to be safe is to really just stay out the hood like that. Like, when you get to a certain age, it's like, okay, I can go holler at who I want, but you got to kind of move in silence. And people say, fuck that is my, like you said, ego and all that bullshit aside, I got to be aware. Now, I got Sean Moore's on the jack. What's up, Sean?
Peace and blessings, man. Condolences to you, Kamar, man. I feel you, brother. I'm disgusted, man. You know what I mean? I'm disgusted with our city. I'm disgusted. I don't think I can find a better word, man. Disgusted, disheartened, kind of disillusioned, just fucked up, you know what I mean? And, like you said, we was talking last week about what needs to happen, man. Shit. Man, I don't give a fuck. Tell on these niggas, man. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers out here killing us. They not killing nobody but us. Fuck them. That's how they feel about us, man. If you ain't gonna knock their ass back, walk their ass back.
Okay, so let me catch my chat room. Earl says, if you out here killing and I know that, I will have to tell on you. And we talked about that last week too. And like I said, I started the show off talking about how I was really, really in my feelings last week, and I was talking about, bring on gentrification. I turned into a full MAGA Negro, right? Like I was a black Republican last week, man. I'm for real, man. That's how this shit had me, bro. Like I was I was talking to motherfuckers on the phone and shit. You know, after a while, I don't even want to talk no more. I'm just gonna hang up.
Man.
I don't even feel like talking no more. Like, and it's a long day when my big ass don't feel like talking. Trust me. I wake up in the mornings talking shit about something, right? So yeah, man. And when I look at a 1-year-old, and then I don't know what's going on with my neighborhood, Capitol Drive, Atkinson, all up in that, in that general vicinity, that real crisscross where Capitol and Atkinson touch. Like, that's always been kind of like that's always been a wild card of a neighborhood. And so a 1-year-old in front of Atkinson Library, and then somebody drops the baby off at the fire station.
Fucking fire station, you stupid fuck.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Man,
Listen,
it's crazy, man. Before I left out of town, I was just telling my girl, man, society been letting me down lately. You know what I mean? Watching people play themselves out foul, watching motherfuckers do foul shit to their own people. You know what I mean? Like, man, society just been letting me down lately, dog.
I think, Mark, that's exactly where I was last week, because I was already deflated coming off of Yayo, right? I was already deflated, just the whole scope of it. And then to kind of walk into this one like a week later, somebody got to turn their device down. I got to echo. Make sure y'all ain't got no Bluetooth headsets in. That cheap shit. That technology's get rid of it. But no, I'm fucking with people. But no, I'm saying when Tavares, when the news of my brother came to me, I was already down. It's like somebody kicking you while you're trying to get back up. So yeah, man, I was upset last week. I was on one. I'm telling you, I got phone calls from people who know me that said, dude.
Hey, if don't nobody know, man, Tavares is the brother of Terrell Thomas, the brother that the police killed down there, dehydration.
Yeah, we talked about all that last week. Yeah. Makes it even worse.
Right.
Holy shit. Come on, man. Kobe says self-hate is a motherfucker. Shout out to Kobe Lloyd, neighborhood brother. Capitol Drive, right? Mama Jenkins in the building. Shout out to Mama Jenkins. She said, good evening, Outlaw family. It's a mean world out here. When we out here killing a baby, it's time to put a stop to it by any means necessary. And see, okay, this conversation always flattens out, right? Like, it usually has an upward trajectory, and then the altitude flattens out. And it don't flatten out until we talk about the actual state of things in terms of leadership in the city. And that's an extension of, when 1-year-olds are getting shot and dropped off at fire stations, when you got a city tow lot where they got a car sitting there for 4 days, and then they find a 17-year-old dead body in the back of it, and y'all ain't even know about it. My mom used to say, it's a fly in the goddamn buttermilk. Okay. Something wrong. The city's credit has taken a bang. Our credit rating. I ain't, But what I'm saying is, somebody's dropping the ball. I ain't gonna put this all on little Lucky Leprechaun. I can't put it all on him. But he sure ain't doing a good job of corralling this shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it is going to hell in a handbasket under his watch officially. If we ain't never broke the glass and pulled the alarm, I'm pulling this motherfucker right now. Help! Come on, Mayor Johnson. I mean, I ain't blaming it on him. I'm just saying, bro, I'm waiting on you to say something, do something, anything where I can say, all right, okay, there we go. I'm just waiting. I know you got it in you. I hear you're a pretty smart fella. I just need to see it, bro. I mean, we putting attention to areas, like, we're using a whole lot of money to put extra pieces on the curve. Meanwhile, people getting gunned down, men, women, and children, wholesale. Where in the fuck are the police at? Where are they?
But KP, they said that they had people in them neighborhoods right around the time of the shooting.
Right. So you can't stop.
So I'm
This is what this city is telling us. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. If you're just tuning in, it's live from the basement. Whole lot to talk about. Saucy as fuck on a Monday night, like we usually are, right? Pop your collar, right? But this is the thing. So what I'm getting from the city is we can't run a good school system. We can't support a good school system. We can't stop reckless driving. We can't stop homicide. Right? We can't stop fentanyl. we can't
Worthless.
do anything to prevent poverty. I say, what the fuck are you doing then? Having festivals on the lakefront? What the
So when do we say?
Yeah.
When do we ask the question? Then okay, we didn't change the people. We didn't change this. The problem in Milwaukee, man, is that nobody wants to be questioned about their ideas or nothing, right?
Hold on, though. Hold on, Sean. Hold on. I got to do this. Hold on. I see Scott Epicet in the chat room right now. And he's saying whatever, LOL, where the police, I can't believe you actually said it. But I saw you on an article about T-Rock making some racist ass, smug ass, smart ass, punk ass remarks, Scott.
Fuck you, bitch. Come find me, Scott.
and I know y'all, I know white
Come
people
find
like,
me, bastard.
you act like you want to make it sweet, you want to make it funny, you want to make a joke of it. That's why I came in there and I shut all of y'all down. So anything you say tonight, Scott, is already muted. Nobody even gives a fuck about how you feel or what you think.
No, you know what? Don't mute him,
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Scott. I did respect you, but I ain't got no respect for you now, you bitch ass nigga. Nigga, bitch ass nigga, you.
That's why you don't want to mute it. We gotta continue.
You ain't welcome around this motherfucker.
Hold on. Let's not lose control.
Fuck that bitch ass nigga.
Come on, just chill for me. Just give me a second.
I'll break your fucking neck, punk.
Give me a second, Kamar. Give me a second. Let me I don't want my brother to, incriminate himself. Jojo, what it do? He said, good evening, Outlaw Radio. Peace and love. My condolences goes out to everyone who's lost someone. Yes, Kevin, the hood is going down fast. We got to figure out something. And he said, now you want the police. I don't know. Once again, this is where racist white people are misinformed, because nobody in our community is against the police if they do their job. We're against crooked police who senselessly murder black people for no reason. And I'll give you one even better. We actually pay the police. There are expectations for them to do their job. So the fact that a few black people may have said something regarding their performance,
bitch ass nigga, Scott, motherfucker, the police killed Tavar's brother. While you talking about the fucking police, go to fucking bed, bitch ass nigga, before somebody put you to sleep.
He said, this bed is all yours. Well, it is what it is, Scott. I just had to make a point. I didn't mean to set Kamar off. I didn't mean to trigger him, y'all, but I had to, because I seen that, and I know that there's always a narrative.
People need to watch their fucking mouth, man. Disrespecting dead
Hold
on,
Kamar. Hold on. It doesn't work if we all talking over each other. I just wanted him to know it's not a joke. And I know y'all like to think it's funny, and you like to you trying to make some false narrative of we don't want our community's police. It's just false, man. I don't even want to spend a whole lot of time with this dude. I got a whole show to do. I'm not giving him that much energy. He is who he is, right? And if you sometimes you give people more energy than they deserve. Like I said, how much of your power do you give away as opposed to how much is actually taken away? But so like we were talking about the community, and I said, where's the police? Because you do have an $800 million budget. It's not like you Barney Fife, like you got a CB system, you got shot spotters, you got cameras everywhere. And I can't at least tell me. And when I say that, I'm even open to somebody who knows to say, okay, Kevin, this is our strategy in the community. This is how we're trying to patrol the community. I like to hear about it. I like to hear it. But right now, it just looks like, because every time I'm seeing something stupid and crazy, I don't see any police in sight. So are they sitting all in these horrible neighborhoods, focusing on that? Because even if they're down there, it's still shitty.
Yeah, racist crackers need to shut the fuck up and mind their business.
That goes without saying, right? That's always a part. Yeah, man. Y'all let me know, man, how y'all feeling out there. The number is 262-202-5131. Man, 23 shot
I know
over
a
the
whole
weekend,
neighborhood of
three
motherfuckers that'll put one in your face, bitch.
dead, and even a 1-year-old, This and it's just, and there's multiple stories that just chaos over the city. People, and there's another brother, like I said, even over in the hood on 4100, who was murdered over the weekend. And I didn't know this brother, but a lot of people, I guess he was pretty familiar. So it's like, man, but hit and runs on the south side. I mean, we don't want you to think there's no murder on the south side, right? But this city is in a state of confusion. I really just need some leadership from somewhere, somehow, some way. Or fuck it, let's just all move to Chicago. I don't have no other fucking solution, right?
I mean, if ain't nothing gonna change, might as well move to Chicago. You're gonna get the same shit there. So, I just think that I don't know, man. People, we can continue to lean on the same shit year in, year out. Same people year in, year out. We recycle the same ideas. We allow people to come in, hey, we're gonna do this, and nobody manages that shit. We don't have any goals in set. We don't have any outcomes set. We can't gauge our efforts, and yet we accept everybody telling us that they're gonna do something. And these are the same people that we've accepted telling us they was gonna do something last year and the year before and the year before. So yeah, man. Yeah,
But I still gotta turn it inward though, to a certain degree. I gotta say, what the fuck is wrong with us? I have to ask, like, people might not like that, but I have to turn to my people and say,
back to us.
Right. So something is like I said, my mama say it's a fly in the buttermilk. You don't hear me walking around waving the flag talking about the white man, the white man, the white man, the white man. He has his place. Believe me, it's a lot of shit I do hold him responsible for. Like that's you, bro. That's on your ass. But I don't walk around blaming him for my woe. Like, I'm not looking at him like, oh, the white man got it. No.
We've conformed to accepting failure. We are comfortable with failure.
Okay.
Our society has accepted that, man. We've accepted all these elements, the crime, the violence, the poverty, the miseducation, right? All of those are factors in a person's failing, and we've accepted it, man. And now we're content with it. We're numb to it, and it's just okay. I'm gonna walk this out till I die.
So I guess that's where my problem. That's where a lot of my issues with, like, especially a lot of racist white people. Their thing is like, I feel like they feel like they telling us something we don't know. Like, if they say, "Hey, man, your community's got some issues, your schools and poverty," and they act like we're gonna be like, "No, that's not true." We know what the fuck is wrong with the community, right? But does that mean since there's problems in my community, I should hate myself? Should I say, "Oh, I'm just an inferior person"? Oh, white people are the greatest. White people are fucked up too. I don't know if you got the memo, Scott. You sleep with dogs. Those are your babies.
Damn.
I mean, come on, man. White.
Right. You sleep with dogs and you fuck little boys, faggot.
God damn.
God can't even stand the sun too long.
This is starting to remind me of Hit 'Em Up and shit. I feel like Tupac gonna yell out something about killing somebody's mama in a minute.
Don't one of you little niggas got sickle cell?
He said now.
Don't nobody want to fuck Scott, a decrepit ass mama.
Hold on,
that
man.
Bitch.
Hold on, Kumar. Hold on. He says now you're talking more about white people. I think some of the weirdest people in the history of this universe have been white.
About you. We talking about you, Scott. We ain't talking about white people. We talking about your kind. We talking about white people that disrespect black people for a fucking living. You fucking troll.
I see he's saying, of course you're saying LOL, Scott. Of course. That's why I'm saying, Kumar, don't waste your energy on this dude, man. Don't even waste it on him. He's not even deserving of it. Right? Because all he's gonna do is laugh. I mean, he's safe behind the keyboard. So that's what I'm saying. We can't get these idiots too much power, man. Just I just had to reflect that, and it's my fault because I shouldn't even said nothing. I know I should have said something because you deserve to be put on blast.
Yeah, he deserved to be checked for
Let me.
that bullshit. That's the problem with white people now. Well, the racist white people, that's the problem with them now. They've been getting away with shit for too goddamn long. Fuck him and his mama, bitch.
Call the cops when you see Kumar. Hey, check this out too. I want y'all to be on point because the monkeypox is here. I think we have up to now 37 confirmed cases. Now, correct
How
me
you
if
get
I'm.
this shit?
Well, hold on. I already know what you finna. I mean, Sean, I know what you finna say. I just want to explain to people. It's 37 people who have it, right? And they just
I'm on
confirmed
back.
somebody
I'm
else
on
over the
back face
weekend,
to
right?
face.
And so, now you asked how you get it, Sean, right?
Yeah, Scott came on here to give us the monkeypox.
Yeah, come
Well,
on back.
from what they say, there's a connection, and there's a connection
Come
between
on with how you get the monkeypox, man. Come on,
gay men. It's supposedly something
Scott.
that's transmitted highly between gay men, right? And I'm not. I'm just giving you science. This ain't got shit to do with Scott. I'm just giving you
Yeah,
science.
dude. You said gay men. Yeah, dude.
And so what I had in my talking
It
points
got
was
everything to do with Scott. You said gay men.
when I damn man, can I do the show, man? Or do we gotta
No.
just do I need to just cut this shit off? Like, I don't know. Can we do a show? Fuck this dude, man. Fuck him. He don't deserve the right to disconnect my shit. Fuck him. I'm not. I got to do my show. Fuck dude. It goes without saying, man. So what I was saying about the monkeypox is there was a link between gay men is how you get it, right? But they just having Pride Fest. I don't know if this is coincidental. Maybe it is just for me. Maybe I'm twisted, right? Like I don't know.
No, you racist. You prejudiced. You brought that
And
down.
now I'm gonna
So
be
you
homophobic too, right? Now I'm gonna be
right. You
homophobic.
homophobic.
No, because
Man.
I wanted to say over the years there's been connections between diseases and infections that are transmitted between gay men, and then like I believe in the beginning of what we learned about the AIDS epidemic was that it was a disease amongst gay men, right? I thought that's what they said at first, and then I heard
That is what
somebody.
they said at first.
I heard somebody a couple years ago say that shit, and they got their ass canceled the fuck off. Like he might work at
Well,
Walmart now. I ain't seen him since. He was some media person who said that, like, and so I don't know. Like in my mind, I was thinking I see this overwhelming happiness in people were in a big to do about Pride Fest. Did any of y'all get to go down there and kick it a little bit? I mean, real,
no.
did you go down there?
That ain't my thing, man. I mean, shit. I don't know how the food looking. I mean, I ain't that nigga. Shit.
Okay, so a better question. Would
If
you
I
go?
want to
Would
go,
you go? Would you go? Real? Would you go to Pride Fest?
shit. I don't know what all go down there. I
Uh-huh.
mean, I know I've been to Greek Fest and I'm not Greek. I've been to Bastille Days and I'm not French.
Right,
Shit, if
right,
I
right,
want to go
right.
down there and get a motherfucking dipped corn cob and see some girls that like girls, shit, I ain't against it.
I don't want you to be at Pride Fest eating a piece of corn on the cob.
Oh, that's,
It's not a good look for Outlaw Radio.
I mean, I wouldn't be the motherfucker worried about how I look. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'll be looking at girls that like girls and enjoying good food. You know, shit.
Right. I mean,
I
but
bring somebody
right.
home to meet the missus. Shit.
Would you dress accordingly? Would you have on like something with a rainbow or something like that, or just saying, like,
funny. That'd be funny,
Again,
man.
shit, I ain't against the rainbow. You know, I look at it as the chakras. You know what I'm saying? So shit.
okay.
I'm with it. I mean, I ain't about to stop rocking shit like that because they done confiscated it and shit.
Yeah, and once again, people got to understand. I'm not throwing this question at you thinking I know what you're gonna say, or I've heard you talk about this shit before, so
Yes,
I
I
knew.
do. Yes, you
So
are.
that's why I posed it to you. Now, Kamar, would you go if they said come down here and vend? Would you go vend at Pride Fest? Would you be down there, post it up? They say, come on, let's take some
Yeah, I
pictures.
go get that money. I done sold products to a lot of gay people. I go get that money. I ain't finna go hang out and kick it and stuff because it ain't my cup of tea.
But after
you
the
know what I
booth
mean?
close
What
up,
I do is I sell products. So you know what I mean? I
no,
go
but
down
I'm
there and
saying,
get that money. But actually, let me hold on once. Let me back that up because I know something. What I
don't
know
back
is
it
I
up at
wouldn't
Pride
do it
Fest.
because, hey, check it out. I wouldn't because down there on the Summerfest grounds, they charge you an arm and a leg to vend, and then they also want a percentage of your shit if you sell drinking products. So no, I wouldn't because of that. But if it wasn't for that, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll go get that money.
Okay, say your girl say just come down here and walk around with me. Would you kick it?
Well, I know my girl. She ain't gonna tell me that.
All right. Okay. Good answer.
She ain't
Good
even
answer.
gonna go kick it.
Okay. I tried to bait you. I tried to bait you through the job, through the money, through the girls. Nothing's working. I'm gonna leave you alone. Sean, would you post up?
Yeah, I got a son that's gay, so
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But I would, even though my son don't really do the Pride Fest shit. He said that they be doing too much.
Okay.
But if he asks me, hey,
you go.
You on down here with me? Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Okay. That's that. Once again, it's not a loaded question.
Is it just because I see? I guess I never knew this shit because I never asked. But is as far as pride, I've heard people say that it ain't just about like proud of coming out type shit, but it's motherfuckers being proud of whatever the fuck they is. So I mean,
proud of being gay.
But I'm saying it's pride. No, I'm saying it's pride
gay.
exclusively
it ain't
about
necessarily proud of being gay.
See, I thought it was
What are
about
we
being
talking
proud
about? It's
of being
Pride Fest. It's Gay Fest.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking the question because I've been told that it's just about being proud of whatever the fuck, whatever your walk is.
No.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
called Juneteenth Day.
This
is Pride. This is Pride Festival. You got this shit fucked up. Like, come on. This is about everything. Power to the people. No, it's not.
I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
So this started out with the Stonewall riot back in 1969, I believe it was.
San Francisco.
And, if I'm not mistaken, it was during this week or month or something that this happened. So this is why they commemorate Pride Month because of the riots that took place and
right. So it's Gay Day. That's what I'm saying. It's Gay Fest.
Yeah, but they don't. You know, since they're growing, they don't like to just say that it's about being gay. It's about accomplishments and taking pride in yourself. And but yeah,
nigga, that was heel of hood, nigga. What you talking about? This is Gay Day.
It was started there then with that Stonewall movement.
Well, that's cool. Thank you for the background information on it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You for being knowledgeable about that. He was a smart brother. But I'm saying I wouldn't go. And look, this was a big people were making posts about this, like whether or not, if you're a straight man, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't. It's not, it doesn't have anything to do with that. For me, I don't mind. I don't care about like whether a person is gay or not. Yeah. It's just like you made a point about I don't go to Bastille Days because I'm not French. I don't go to what else you name? Festa Mexicano because I'm not Mexican, right?
Festa Italiano,
right? I'm not Italian. I like Italian food. Love Mexican food, but I don't need to go to the lakefront and pay $7 for a bottle of water to get some of it.
Right.
I know how to get Mexican food, but it ain't Mexican.
That'd be more the reason I don't go. It wouldn't be about the perception of things, but you're right. It'll be about the money and shit.
If it's not something I do, I don't feel I should go. So why would I go? I'm not gay, so why would I go?
I used to have a girlfriend that was gay, right? And we used to go to the gay bar.
Okay.
We used to go to Catch.
Okay. There you go.
There you go.
Nasty, but it's all good. Don't tell on yourself now.
You have to go to Pride.
It's my past, man. You know what I mean? It's my past. Hey, I sold dope too. I mean, shit. Hey, shit.
Living the life.
You know
dope and girlfriends with girlfriends. That is
I
the
can
life.
honestly say that's a good. I'm glad you said that. That's a great segue because I also would not go to a gay bar. I would
Right.
not go, even if my girl said let's go. I'd be like, nah, I'm cool. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
nothing
definitely.
against gay. This is once again, you got to understand. There's 3 different grown men, 4 if you count Sean on the jack. It's grown men on here. So everybody is right. They got their opinion, right? So you don't get it. Ah, motherfucker, what you saying? I wouldn't go.
Man,
I'm not.
yeah,
I don't, it's
we
like
don't
I
want to
don't
get
do a
them
lot of.
paws no more, man.
I don't go to a lot of places because I'm not with what they do, right? Like I don't go to country western bars because I'm not that into country western music.
Man, they
I
be
don't even go
jamming
to hip hop
sometimes.
bars like with rap music like that because I don't like the bullshit that goes on after the club close. So I don't go to gay fest. I'm sorry, Pride Fest because I'm not gay, and I hope that that answer could suffice in this world today. That if somebody say, "Well, why didn't you go to Pride Fest?" You can say, "Because I'm not gay," and nobody would be offended, right? I feel Sean on saying his son. I feel Kamar on saying he had a gay girlfriend. I feel real on the spectrums of the rainbow and the colors and particulates.
Hey, but today, nah, you ain't gonna catch me in there.
Okay,
You
okay,
get what I'm saying?
right.
Shit, it's a few strap females on my timeline that's taking pictures down there. I mean, shit, had I not been in a relationship, I might have went down there to see all the, no real shit. I used to catch a lot of films, as they call it, the ones that fuck with studs,
Everybody
and
says
I
every
used
dude who
to,
ever went to a gay bar or was around some and got caught at the gay bar said, "Man, I be going there to catch girls, man. I always catch some
well,
fine lesbians."
I
You be
used to
leaving
catch
there with
like
Larry.
they used to approach me like a motherfucker, and I always joked about the fact that I always had long hair and shit. I'm cute with long hair, so I help them kind of wean themselves back to
Oh my
men and
god.
shit. But but yeah, they used to, man, they used to stay approaching. I used to see studs
He said, "I'm so
put
cute.
they
I convert lesbians." That's what he just said, y'all.
I ain't converted shit. They man, real shit. All the ones that used to talk to me, they had like female, studs and shit. And I'd be like, okay, so you like niggas. So what you doing? It's like, well, they was there for me at a time I needed a friend or like shit like that. But they be like, oh, I always knew I was gonna get
See,
married
this
to
is
a
why
man that
I
had
don't need.
kids.
Listen, I don't need this kind of
I became a
confusion in
lesbian
my
last
life.
month.
I don't need this confusion in my life. This is why I don't go
What
around. We don't
confusion?
need to be talking about. Obviously, she is. If she can't make up
Oh,
her
oh.
mind, like
Well,
you just interjected yourself into the situation.
she
Hold on,
knew she
let
liked
me get
men.
Mama Jenkins.
Oh,
She
okay.
says, "Family, I'm on point with Kamar. He's on fire tonight. I'm sick of this bullshit. Also, we get all this money in the city chest, and the OVP and other organizations walking around handing out gun locks and flyers." About events. Oh, Mama Jenkins, you on fire, saucy. He said, "How do you know that that's a woman or a man up under there when you meet your femme?" He's saying, this
With the
is about
films?
your adventures, the great adventures of really 2 chins."
Well,
Shit,
hey, look, that's why I used to have that's why she used to go talk to him. You know what I mean? And
Okay,
she figured that shit out. I
yeah,
ain't got nothing to say to nobody because I can't tell shit.
right.
I
You know
ain't
what?
in it.
I've always tried to be very meticulous about where I'm at, like because I feel like you can get yourself in some bullshit by being loosey goosey, not really being not having the gift of discernment. There's no way I'm gonna put myself in a situation where something could it's Murphy's law. So if I'm in this kind of environment and somebody say, "Hey, yeah," I'm gonna be offended first. Then I'm gonna be like, "But I'm the one who put myself in there, so I can't be mad if some dude." You know what I mean? Like I just because I'm with a girl don't mean
Right.
Leroy
Right.
from
You
Fame
right
ain't gonna
there.
creep up on the
Hey, you
side of me
right
and be
there,
like,
because
"Hey,"
motherfucker might
like
say
I'm gonna be
something to
offended by that shit. Like, what the fuck, man? Let's go right now. But you
Hey, some
shouldn't even have
motherfucker
your
might
ass
hit
in
on
here
you.
with your little nasty self in here trying to do some nasty stuff. That's all I'm saying.
You
Uh,
right there.
right. I mean, I'm
Motherfucker
just saying.
just might try to hit on you, man.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Other people say, "Well, Kevin, that's not no big deal." I don't ever want to be in a situation where that happens.
I don't want to find out.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And for me to have to be forced to be friendly and cordial to it, instead of saying, "Hold on, man, what the fuck, you man, you better get away from me." He'd be like, "Well, what you doing here then?" You'd be like, "Damn, you right," and shit. Man, I mean, I
I'm with
just
my lady looking for the lesbians. That's how
right. That's what he gonna say. That's what they all say. That's what he. Gonna, that's why he came up to your ass. I see you. You in there like, what the fuck just happened? Mama Jenkins said today one of them aldermen said 2/3. Oh, yes, Mama Jenkins, shout out to you. You did put the post about being at the meeting. Was that about property taxes or taxes where he said 2/3 of the some people, some organizations in this city? How was it phrased? They don't pay property taxes? I seen you break it down. You might have to elaborate on that for us because I don't want to say the wrong thing because I know critical ears are listening to make sure we don't say nothing wrong. But yeah, man, it's just a conversation, man, about the whole Pride Fest thing. I like it was a hot topic over the weekend. So just
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
say,
We really
like people was mad about it.
well, people just saying, how we have conversations about what's what. It's like, I seen a lot of jokes like, man, yeah, baby, you giving your man drama and he at Pride Fest right now. And say people like, yeah,
That
a
shit
straight man
funny,
ain't supposed to
nigga.
be
That
at
shit
Pride
funny.
Fest. Fuck that. There's a lot of posts about people saying, well, if you a straight dude, you should not be at Pride Fest. And I'm like, okay, I just want to know how people think about it. 'Cause I
so
feel
if let me ask you a question then. If I identify as a lesbian, I can't go to Pride Fest?
if you identify as a
Yeah.
lesbian, you gay, then you absolutely should go. What do you
I
mean?
get
It's
where
I'm
for
he
not
going
you.
gay.
with
It's
I'm
your
not gay.
day.
I'm talking me, a man, me,
that.
a male,
No, you on some
identified as
bullshit. I identify
hey,
as
he's
a
hey,
bro.
lesbian.
I
Oh my
can't. I go to
goodness.
He's admitting his lesbianism.
I
hey,
get it.
look,
He a lesbian. Come
I
on,
heard
man.
Madonna say before that
I am.
she's a gay man trapped in a woman's body. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Have you
if we,
seen Madonna lately? She looked like a zombie.
no,
I'm
I
not
ain't seen her
listening to the
lately.
shit she's saying. She's
I
like
ain't,
100,000 years old. She got
I ain't seen
surgery on her,
Madonna in 20
and she
years and
done
shit.
raised bisexual African orphans. I'm not. Don't
Huh?
please. You got to know the source, man. You got to know the source. She one of them white people who remember at one point it was in style for them to go get them some little Africans to
Like
show up at the
Angelina
award show.
Jolie.
She was one of the OGs. She
Oh,
had her
okay.
a little litter of Africans that she
Yeah, that
said.
was the internet.
So, but whatever. I just say I like when you toss names out at me like that. Like Madonna said, like who the fuck
Yeah,
cares what
she
Madonna
said
said?
she a gay man trapped in a woman's body. So if he feel like he's a lesbian trapped in a man's body, shit.
I
He
can tell you
still
this for sure though, real.
I'm,
It was
I'm, I'm,
bullshit.
a,
It was bullshit when she said it, and it was bullshit when Sean said it.
I
So
know.
both of them get
I'm
to
a lesbian. I'm a lesbian.
I
But
feel you.
can we say I like the same things that other lesbian women like?
right. So
Shit, I like it too.
that's your excuse for hanging out at the gay bar. When somebody say, Sean, what was you doing
I
in
like.
the Blue Oyster? I'm a lesbian. We gonna be like, get
I'm
the
not hanging
fuck
out at
out
the
of
gay
here,
bar.
man.
I'm not hanging out at the gay bar. I'm hanging out at the lesbian bar.
Right. You
Shit.
keep that up.
Just,
Good
just
job, young man. We talk about a double entendre. Um, Mama Jenkins said, watching the City Channel and the Steering and Rules Committee, Alderman Mark A. Barkowski just stated two-thirds percentages of properties, 2/3 of the properties in this city do not pay taxes. She said, so we got Marquette, MSOE, other schools, Potawatomi Casino takes in $1 million a day, equal to a 365 million a year. And the churches and the hospitals do not pay taxes. It's really a slap in the face when we as homeowners pay property taxes.
Shit, I'm about to start a church. I'm ordained. I'm about to
Right.
start
Well,
a church.
it's one way to do it, brother. It's one way to do
Yeah.
it.
Start
Get
a
your
Hell
church
money.
and
yeah.
teach
you
what
know
you
what we
want to
need to
teach.
talk about, KB?
Hell yeah.
North Milwaukee succeeding from the rest of the city, like South Milwaukee did. You should really look into that. Make that a topic of your show one day.
I prefer to let you do that one.
Um,
Listen, no, we can't even make it while we hook to the south side. If we separate, it's really all bad.
Right.
I don't know. We have to talk. I'm not. I ain't know. It ain't worth no civil war. Fuck. I just move. Let's secede from the state. Shit. Little Nigeria. No, I'm cool.
Nigeria.
I'm not really. I mean, I had to get back on my Black MAGA shit because y'all got me upset to the point where now I'm really back on maybe gentrification
Hey,
is
it's
the
coming.
solution.
It's
Maybe that's what
coming.
it's about.
It's coming. The
Right.
key is to position yourself to benefit from the shit instead of not
Right.
doing shit and finding yourself X'd out. Like
Right.
shit.
So Outlaw Radio should have had a booth at Pride Fest. We should have been down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit, go ahead and get that
Yeah.
money.
So I can talk to the lesbians.
Why y'all didn't tell me that's what y'all wanted to do? I would have said, man, y'all handle that BI. That was
Hey.
totally.
Hey, listen, man. I would have did that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's work, man.
Mhm.
Yeah. I would have
Right.
I would have said, go ahead, man. I like that idea. I would have said,
It's
go
work.
ahead, do that.
Hey,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
again, I ain't got no problem with them. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
most of them that got a problem with me because if I say what I don't like, then they get on my case.
That's the whole point. What he said. I don't have a problem with them. It's just like I can't really be honest with them. Like they have forced men. They call us now cis hetero men and all this like give me all these titles and shit. I'm just a
They
guy.
call us what?
Cisgender and cis hetero and all kinds of different
What
names.
the
What is that?
These names that they done gave you, and they make you so uncomfortable that you gotta lie around them. So if one of them come up to you like, you like my purse? And you be like, nah, man, get away from me with that purse. Oh, he a homophobe. Like, I gotta say, yeah, it's a nice bag. I guess this is the way I'm expected to behave. Like, you've taken my right to even be honest away from me. Or
I just don't answer.
say that again.
I just don't answer them. I had somebody, my higher frequency page got like 56,000 followers. So just like last week or two, I posted some shit. Can't even remember what I posted, but somebody was under there like, so this page is transgender friendly, huh? Like they was transgender. I just looked and like, man, what the fuck, nigga? This
You
a
said I'm one of
page.
y'all.
This just the page. Look at the shit and keep it moving. No, I ain't
It's almost,
responding.
hey man, it's almost like they be looking for shit to get mad at.
Right. So that's why I won't even
I
take
tried to
the
slide
bait.
one at him. Y'all hear that?
know,
He said, no, that wasn't it.
That's it. I just didn't take the bait because that's the thing. It's like I
But
don't
once
have
again,
to
ask
play your
yourself,
game.
yourself, because I know you ain't no punk. Why are you in a position where you can't even respond? I just be quiet. I just won't
No,
even say nothing.
Bro,
I don't look
so
at it
out
like
of
I'm just being quiet. I'm like, that don't deserve my energy. I just kept it moving. Because it's like, what the fuck am I gonna say? Well, actually, I believe everyone has the right to. No, fuck that. Think what you think.
Why you just can't say no? I don't like your purse. I wouldn't wear no purse if I was you.
I don't have a problem with anybody living the way they live as long as they don't ask me to participate in that shit.
But when you ask me, do I like your bag? You're inviting me into your realm.
Hey, nigga, hey, that's a fly ass bag, G. Shit, that
you tell them,
keep it at that.
Once again,
so
you got a lie.
Oh, I don't like your purse. No, I don't like your purse. I'm a stud.
I don't know if you're trying to talk like a lesbian in real life right now, or if you're making a point. I'm like, he really adapting the language and shit.
That's how you go around.
I'm so confused. I don't know. You're a lesbian tonight, so I don't know. I'm like, you tell us.
I mean, if the purse dope, I'm gonna say the purse dope. If the purse ain't dope, I like they don't get no tiptoeing because of who they is. If it's an ugly ass purse, nah, fam, that's an ugly ass purse. And it clashes with your shoes.
What am I? I don't have an opinion on purses. Like I don't, unless it's my wife saying you like this. Yeah, baby, I like that.
I used to buy my lady. I used to love buying my lady boots and purses. Like finding matching boots and purses.
I've never picked them. I bought them, but the
real?
ones I picked, she was always looking at it like, I ain't wearing that shit.
Man,
that's why I'm like, you tell me what you want.
Shit, I used to stay buying boots.
Earl Henny's making a good point.
Boots.
He said that their money looks good in your bank account like everyone else. Totally understand that. Once again, have no problem with them. I just feel like I shouldn't be made to be uncomfortable for being me.
See,
I shouldn't be made to feel uncomfortable because I'm not gay. And I feel like this whole society right now tries to make you feel bad if you're not. So if you just say, nah, man.
That's what you're saying, like, man.
See, I honestly just don't like loud ass, flamboyant ass niggas. But there's a lot of straight men that are loud ass, flamboyant ass, effeminate niggas.
There's flamboyant and there's effeminate, right? I don't trace of feminism from a man. I see I'm out the dough for the dough. I'm not even around, cuz. And you could ask me like, why you stop, man? You do be smacking too much for me, man. I'm not. Once again, I'm being very careful about where I place myself. I'm not gonna place myself in a situation where he could. I don't want you to come out the closet to me. Well, Kev, I just want to tell you something. No, I'm cool. Don't call Rail. He'll understand. I'm leaving. I don't.
Shit. Express yourself.
Oh.
You know, shit. Okay.
I mean, once again, it's always a thing. People try to say it's not a big deal, but I see people. They did a front page news. The first openly gay HBCU football player. Why do I need to know? This is what I'm saying. Like it's a thing. Everybody try to make it seem like it ain't no big thing. But when you say, hey, y'all know what? People say what? You say I'm gay. Everybody go,
oh, that's I see what you're saying.
That must have been so hard for you to say. You're a really brave person.
That's like that clout catch. Like when you saying they using it for clout.
To conform to the views, man, by constantly pushing it. The more they push it, right, the more we become numb to it, the more we accept it, the more we don't say nothing about it, the further it's gonna go. So they have a plan and it's working so far perfectly because it went from that Stonewall riot to now where, if you
what happened?
John, you cut off.
We have to
there you
go. Where I cut off at?
You good.
Stonewall riot?
No, he said that 20 minutes ago. Please don't tell me your shit's that far behind. Don't make him tell us that story again.
Where this riot started and they pushed their message over the years to where it's at now, to where if you speak out against it, you have the problem. Society has conformed to their view. We have to stop conforming to all these adverse views, man. Look at their percentage of the population and look at how much power they have, right? And somebody can walk up to you and ask you a question, and if you don't say the right thing, they can cancel you, bro.
Yeah, you done. Now, hold on, Sean. I got another caller. Caller, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. What's going on, Kev?
Oh, Dion, what it do, big homie?
Man, you already know, rolling this big thing down 45.
Pause.
Headed back to hometown.
Okay.
That's about it. But yeah, though, man, the reason the agenda was so strong and the message passed so quick and spread like cancer is because it was a white male agenda. You got to understand, anytime they got an agenda, whether it's heterosexual, homosexual, white men, white people have superiority in this country, so they're going to be able to move that agenda. Because, I mean, look, we can't even get an anti-lynching bill passed. And they've been lynching us for 400 years. But the LGBTQIA, LMNOP people, they got agendas move quick, and they start marrying and all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care what nobody says. Homosexuality, to me, I think homosexuals are sexual deviants. That's my opinion. I got the right to have my opinion. And I don't know if you listen to one of our radio stations, but it'd be a sexual deviant calling every day, and the host be entertaining it. I don't want to hear this man talking about putting other men penises in his mouth, and that is just so disrespectful.
Well, who
man.
said that?
It's just it'd be this man to be calling one of the radio stations, and he just be going too far with it, man. He really be going. It's very disrespectful. It is though. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised that they banned them once. I'm surprised they allowed them to call. And another thing, Kev, like I say all the time, man, and I stress this. I don't know what was unleashed in our community, bro, but when you go across the nation, and I feel you, though, I hate to dislike my own people, man. I really do. I hate to have that malice towards my people, but we will never get taken seriously in the United States because, for one, we don't have no unity. And if they look throughout the community, why would they give these niggas reparations and we killing each other? You understand what I'm saying? They don't even take us seriously. Like, how? That's why they don't care when the police kill one of us because if the police kill one of us, we get in an uproar. But when they be like, well, when one of y'all kill one another, y'all, why is not an uproar? And I can understand that to
But
bit.
It is an uproar. It is an uproar. Did you not just Kamar's reaction was heartfelt throughout the community? People in the community are upset that T-Rock was murdered. They're upset that Yayo was murdered. You think the whole community, like people are in an uproar? And are they marching? They had balloon releases. They've had vigils. So, I mean, it's still one and the same, though, right? People say it's not a big deal. You didn't do shit when he died. Well, actually, we done let go of balloons 3 or 4 times. People walk around with T-shirts and put, there's things there's an uproar in the community. That part of it, I just feel like,
I think we just don't put too much emphasis on that when that happens, but we just see it more, you know what I mean, on the flip side of what we're talking about.
Yeah, you had me damn near ready to turn Republican last week behind this shit. There's an uproar. I still got an issue. I'm still kind of salty with my own community behind this shit. Dion?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, man, when you go from Chicago to Detroit to Houston, all down south, Miami, everywhere. I mean, that the little girl that got killed in Milwaukee wasn't the only child that got killed this weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Sure
across the nation. And it's so heartfelt, man. You know what I'm saying? Because why are we perpetuating violence against one another? You understand what I'm saying? That's like I wanted to ask Bull. Like when he was in Vegas, didn't it feel good just to walk through somewhere and ain't nobody mean mugging you?
Yeah.
Bro, when I came, I was going to Arizona. I come back to Milwaukee, and I'm somewhere I can't even remember where I'm at, and dude mean mugging me. So I'm like, bro, I'm not your enemy, bro. I'm not your enemy. Those people that wear those blue suits that patrol you every day, those are your enemy. The people that legislation is making laws to hold you down, those are your enemy. Me and you, we got the same fight going on. You don't have to look at me like that, my brother.
But hold on, Dion. Even right there, though, what you just said encapsulates a whole kind of conversation, because you said those people in blue are your enemy. And you said, I'm not your enemy. But the reality in our community, when it's a brother walking and he see another brother, that is his enemy. You are his enemy.
For some reason.
You are you probably the only person he met that whole day who wasn't his enemy. But every other black man that he comes into contact is his enemy. So I could say, man, I'm more concerned about the enemies that look like me than I am about the ones dressed in blue.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are more accessible to me and me to them.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Hello.
Yeah, we got you loud and clear. Big 10-4, big buddy.
I'm going through one of these little towns, and you said, "Oh, girl must be on here." It's time for me to go because I heard a feminine laugh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get up out of here, man. I'm gonna have to go and get up out of here, Kev. I'm gonna toot the horn for you. If I got Joe online, man, Joe, what up, man? You know what I'm saying? I miss you coming to the job, man. I seen you driving out 76 the other day, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, Kev, and finish listening, man. You brothers have peace and love in your heart, man. For real though. Oh girl, you be careful out here though. You gotta watch what you say about people. You hear me? All right.
Okay. Shout out to Joey, first of all. Shout out to JoJo. That's the big homie. Juice Lady, how you doing tonight?
I am well. And yourself?
I am holding on like a hubcap in the fast lane. We were, and it's live from the basement. So the conversation has kind of gone around a bit. So we've talked about several different things. So you just kind of jumped in the middle of it, as you can tell. Now let me catch the chat room, because Mama Jenkins saying, we got the RNC coming. Let's set our stuff up downtown for 3 days. I will pay for our banner, and we can do some water and put our labels on it and the name on it and how to tune in. Look at Mama Jenkins.
There you go.
Almost gave her the horn.
Hey,
I love
Control C on the labels.
Okay.
We can definitely get that put together.
That's a crazy idea right there. That's something else.
Mm-hmm.
It would surely be a sight to see, right? Like just to
Put
see how they be looking at us. Like,
put a QR code on that label to get us to them to the YouTube channel.
Yeah. During the
and subscribe for this prize.
I be down there telling them I'm with y'all. I ain't with them. I'm with gentrification. Come on, get these private prisons going. Mike Kimmons said they money not in my bank account would not hurt me at all. Because somebody had said earlier, they money don't hurt your bank account. He said they money not in his bank account don't hurt him either. So he basically saying he can do without their bread. Okay, we talking about the rainbow people. Deacon Mikey Davis, what up, family, neighborhood. He says, I feel you, Kev. Big Mike, I see in the chatty chat on the Jack. He says, so if we are not all the perfect Negro, we shouldn't get reparations. You know, I thought when he said give us, because I feel like there shouldn't be, I feel like reparations have been earned. I don't feel like it's anybody's, it shouldn't be anybody's decision to say you can or you can't have. I think the task should be how do you structure it. So I did hear him say that. And so I did hear, I heard Dion say that. Heard him say that. JoJo said peace and love, Dion. I'll be back home. Said he'll be back, homie, tenfold. He'll be back, he said. He'll be back to the gig. So it's Outlaw Radio live from the basement, man. A lot of things going on. Like I said, I'm disgusted. You should be disgusted if you live in Milwaukee. But I think Dion did make a good point when he says, but the black communities in all major cities kind of mirror the same thing, right? Like, so this 1-year-old sister who lost her life this weekend wasn't the only. She wasn't even the only child shot, I don't believe, over the weekend. And so an argument between two adults, apparently, where somebody bang bang shoots in the car, hit the baby. You know, 17-year-old boy found dead in the back of a vehicle sitting in the tow lot for 4 days. The individual who they arrested for driving the truck, I believe, was a 14-year-old boy who had hit a tree. And they didn't know this body was in the back, and they took it to the city tow lot and sat there for 4 days.
So I be having something to say about this. I've been thinking about this all day. You know, nowadays, whenever a child, and with certain ages, I understand the statement, but when it comes to teens dying, you know, the first thing people yell out is, well, where are the parents at? Where was the parents? You know, most motherfucking parents be at home. I know I be at home, and I be expecting my son to be at home, and I don't expect him to leave, but I also know when I was a teenager, my mom used to be at home, and I would leave. And I'm sure she expected me to be in the house all night, but no, niggas be leaving. So, you know, it's like, where the parents at? They at home sleep. But then I also know there was a time when she was working third shift, you know, and sometimes you usually expect your teenagers to be responsible. You know, you hope they're being responsible. I mean, I just be wondering, where do y'all want the parents to be at? When people, where are the parents at? Now,
I will say this.
I understand with little kids, but with teen, where do y'all expect the parents to be at? Where do y'all want them to be?
I do understand this though, with teenagers in particular. I hear what you're saying, and I totally get it. But I think as a parent, if you have done even kind of what you were supposed to do, there's an expectation for he or she not to be leaving.
Right.
Not just because one thing that I won't tolerate is you going and coming as you please.
Right.
That shit will not happen in my house. Where you're going is heavily supervised while I have a say-so over it. Right. Once you hit 18, 19, 20, and I can't directly tell you, unless you living with me, then I can say, well, you can't stay here doing this and that. But as a teenager, I like my son right now, you know, it's not like we're not on him, but we're on him to the point where you just don't get to do what you want to do. Right. So when you say where the parents said, some parents be like, well, what I'm supposed to do? You're supposed to tell him not to take his ass out the house. Right. And if you come back, the door supposed to be locked.
But what about the parents that don't know? A lot of times my mama didn't know. Like, I'm sneaking out while you sleep, you know, and I'm coming back while you still sleep. So if you don't know, like, I ain't never get caught. What you mean?
I think your mother probably knew more than you give her credit for. I don't see how a kid could sneak out my house and come back unless I'm just, man, well, it just wouldn't happen here because one of us is gonna catch you. It's gonna be me or the missus, and it's gonna be horrible. Whoever catch you, it's all bad. I'm talking about. I don't care. You can be 17. If I say, "Hey, man, you ain't running in and out this house all times of the night," I'm 17. Okay. Well, you can be 17 on the other side of that door. I'm not playing with you, right? And so but I think also you can't start doing that later and expect kids to be receptive to it. It has to be the norm from the start. Right. And I don't just get to do whatever. Because as bad as I was when I was little, there was rules. It was certain shit that I just wasn't allowed to do. I fucked around and did it on my own. But if I got caught, I got my shit broken. Boom,
Right.
right away. And I
That is-
said, well, shit. So I when they say where's the parents, I get it. But also you can look at your kid's behavior and kind of tell what he or she is on because I've been there. So if my son was nickel slicking on any level trying to be in the streets, I'd smell it. I'd see it. Like I already know what you on, bro, and I'm here to head you off. So
Right.
when they say where's the parents, I get what they mean, but it's also not an indictment of parents who have kids who do things because, like you said, there are a lot of parents like, nah, man, I didn't know that's what the fuck he was doing. He said, "Can I go here?" I say, "Yeah." I assume he's doing the right thing. He's obviously not, right? So it happens both ways. But I can see both sides of the argument, Courtney. Let me see. Oh, Mama Jenkins, hold on. Chat room on deck. Earl says, "Bro, they run some of the banks here, so you should get it out of there." Well, they run damn near everything. I mean, come on, where's there not some gay people working at? I don't
They run the world.
shit. At least the United
Like,
States. I
Hey,
don't know
you
about
know,
shit,
hey,
overseas.
listen, man, we gotta
like
understand. You know what I mean? You gotta
they
look at the
run the
culture.
world.
We gotta look at the culture while we talking about this stuff, man. You know what I mean? Where it comes
Or
from.
they run the people who run the world with them Polaroids that
Exactly.
motherfuckers don't
And
want
this
to
is
be seen.
and that's what I'm getting at. And that's what I'm getting at is you gotta understand that culture. You know what I mean? That's the shit they've been doing since forever. They've been fucking little boys. You know what I'm saying? They want to make this shit natural to us. They want us to
Yeah.
feel like this is the norm. You know what I mean? It's okay. That's why they talking about putting a P on the end of the alphabet.
But you
People,
know, I told you.
pedophiles in there.
I ain't got
Man,
lie.
they trying to make this shit normal.
You know, I told you.
This
Everybody
is their
lying.
culture. This is the shit they was grown up in thousands of years ago.
Let me see. Mama Jenkins said, "I'm just thinking about all this money gonna be spent. We just need to be chiming in on those dollars. We got a month to get ready." She put the challenge down. Challenge. Man, that's what's up. Earl said, "My great niece was killed 2 years ago from sneaking out the house forever. 13 years old. Wow."
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm.
Mike Kimmons said
Damn.
they do not run the banks at all. Money and power runs the world. Well, I can say this: there's some countries where they don't really they ain't having that. Like they really are still, boot on the neck overseas. So I can say America, yeah, but worldwide, there's some countries that'll be like, man, we'll put you in jail for that. Like so, it ain't. They're not necessarily running the world, but in the United States, they have
America trying
a
to
lot of
lean on those
influence.
Right. And that's why I say the culture. Because
America
this is the
trying to
only
lean on
country
those
where them
countries.
motherfuckers running it.
Okay.
This is the only culture. This is the only country where that shit is accepted.
Well, no, they accept it overseas, but I guess
They don't promote it. Let's say that. This is the only country where they promote the shit and call you fucked up if you think it's wrong.
and it's funny because I'm sure some gay person somewhere thinking he don't know what the hell he talking about, and you're right. I don't know the gay power structure. I'm just saying. They be talking shit. They don't know what they saying. You right. I don't know. I just know they don't run the world. I just know that in the United States the influence is great. Now there's another thing too, because this has become something that's popular amongst black people, black women in particular. Now we always say on this show that, well, at least I do. I don't feel like men should be able to tell women what to do with their bodies. I'm one of those dudes. Like, so if a woman say, I want to put this on my body, I want to take that off my body, I'd be like, that's your decision, that's you. But this whole trend of BBLs now, so the young brother DC Young Fly off of Wildin' Out. I don't know if y'all watch Wildin' Out. I watch Wildin' Out, especially my son and my daughter love it. We sit around and laugh at it, so it's funny sometimes. But
I
DC
watch
Young
him on
Fly.
the 85 South podcast. Is
Okay,
what I
yeah, I
watch
was
him
just gonna
on.
say that he does it with Carlos Miller and what's
Yeah.
the other little bald head dude name? Uh,
Chico Bean.
Chico Bean. Yeah, and the shit's funny. It's hilarious.
And
It's
then they
funny as
got
shit.
Clay on there now too.
Okay, I ain't watched it in a minute.
Oh, okay.
But so his wife, I guess they have 3 children, or his life partner. I don't know how they define these things. She went to have this surgery, this mommy makeover, and she had heart failure. And so now we know Kanye West's mother had gone and tried to have some sort of procedure, and she perished.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's been several different women over the years who tried to go on to have these surgeries. Now, I don't know everything about these surgeries, but I did find a clip, and it was TMZ, and there was a surgeon saying that this is the most dangerous kind of procedure that you can actually undergo, right? And so
Yeah.
I don't know, from a woman's perspective, I don't know what pressures men are really putting on you to make you think you need to take fat out your stomach and put it in your booty, and then they'll like you. Because the reality is if he don't like you when you fat, he ain't gonna like you when you skinny. But I'm just saying, I feel like black women especially should not be going to have these surgeries, right? Like I'm always tripping when I see a black celebrity. I'm like, this motherfucker done had surgery, because we have always been this multiple, like, really beautiful people, this beautiful race of people who age gracefully. And so I just like, I'm women right now, and I've heard women even argue and say, "Well, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not doing it for no man and nothing like that. There's nothing wrong with me if I see something that I don't like to be able to go and change it. I should be able to do it." But is
Mm.
it worth the risk? Is it worth your life to try and have a big ass? Because from what the surgeon said, there's other ways. And I know it's not just about the booty. I know there's also, they do the breast lift, but is the mommy makeover kind of like the whopper, the double whopper of BBLs, like where you get the whole breast lift, the butt lift? I don't know, with tummy tuck, what's all involved with the mommy makeover? I don't know.
I
I
don't
thought maybe
know
one of
either.
y'all.
I don't know
Okay.
either, but I feel like
As
it's
a
a mental.
lesbian, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I feel like
I don't know as well.
Go ahead,
I'm not
Kamar.
sure.
This boy's stupid, man.
I feel like it's a mental issue, right? Whichever way you look at it, I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like if you're doing it because you feel like men gonna like it better, problem. Because see, for one, good men, the men that I know that I consider good men, don't none of these men talk about, I want me a woman with a BBL. I want a woman who do her face up every day so she could look like a movie star or a trainee. I want, you know what I'm saying? I don't know no men that say they want a woman like this. No men who I consider good men, right?
Mm.
I'm a man. I know men, right? We know, y'all know what I'm talking about. So you know if a
You know a
motherfucker
couple dudes.
a
Yeah.
lousy, you know if he a lousy dude or if he's a
Right.
good man. You know what I'm
They
saying?
call him in Milwaukee broke ass nigga.
Yeah,
Right.
see what I'm saying? So the good men don't even want them type of women. The only type of men that attract that type of shit are the lousy ones. You know what I mean? So they're gonna keep getting that end of the stick. Now, the other reason I say it's a mental issue is because they'll tell you, I do it for me. I do it for me. Well, now you don't feel like you look right.
Okay.
You don't
Feel
But
feel
you
they
like
on that.
you look good enough. You don't feel like God is perfect because you don't feel like God made you perfect.
Well, I mean, or you can't accept
Uh.
whatever flaws he gave you.
I
I'm
feel like
just
we
saying.
know that this is
All
not
I'm
true.
saying is, you know what I mean? It's a level of self-love, you know what I'm saying, that needs to be made.
Got you. Go ahead, Courtney.
I feel like the statement is not true because I always say if this was a world with no men, we wouldn't be doing none of that. We probably wouldn't be shaving. We probably just be out here just living. Cause I mean, all this I'm doing it for me. I'm doing no we not. Cause if it was no men around, I don't. It's a lot of things I wouldn't be doing.
But then Sean would step in with his lesbian friends and be the men.
Hey, what you think?
Courtney, I totally hear you, but I do understand that America, when you have a society like ours that's heavily dependent on the media and pop culture to kind of, influence it, there is the narrative that women have to be built or look a certain way. And I've heard women who are scholars talk about, being attractive as a female does get you a little bit further. Having a nice body as a female does get you a little bit further. And so women sometimes believe, well, maybe I need to make myself more appealing, so not just to please a man, but just to get ahead
See,
more.
so even still, it's not that I'm doing it for me. It's doing it
Right.
because for
See,
these
because
different
I'm not
reasons to get
good
a
enough.
little success. It's not just because I feel like I just want to dress up every day and
Because
put on makeup. It still ain't just for them.
she's still saying I'm not good enough.
Okay. Very okay. Complicated conversation. Right? Because
Whatever the reason is, like, let's figure it out. Like, you saying you're not good enough.
well,
Your
is there
hair ain't
hold on,
good
so let's
enough.
let's rephrase that, Kamar,
Your
and then
hair
ask
ain't
it
good enough. Your
let's
body
ask it
ain't
in a
good enough.
safer way. Let's ask it in a safer way. So for women out there who are listening to the show, because I know there's women who listen, if you had some money and you had something about your body that you could potentially, I don't change or alter, would you do it? You know what I'm saying? Because especially knowing now that this BBL thing is kind of crucial, I like to hear women's opinion on it. Now let me get the chat room because it's getting backed up. So
My mama offered to give me a boob job before, and she offered to give me a nose job. And I just was like, nah, man, I can't just pop up with a new nose. I'm like, what? I done had this nose forever, and I'm gonna pop up with a slim nose. She's like, well, people grow up and they face change. I'm like, no. And then, after having kids, your boobs. Well, some people boobs get bigger, some go down. Mine went down. She was like, well, I get you some new ones if you want. And I was like, man, no, man, I'm all right. It's cool. And I mean, because it's major surgery, and I don't think people look at it like that. It's major surgery, and I'll pass.
Right. There you go. Dion says Uganda just signed some tough laws on homosexuality. Yeah, it's some countries in Africa that do not play. Not fucking with you. And I don't know how many of them is undercover.
They're all about evolution. They're all about life.
They'll get on the gay person neck real quick.
Yeah,
Mike Emmett, he says, look at Bud Light and Target and Netflix. They basically said the LGBT community does not outweigh the overall populace. Okay, there's been some stuff going on with corporate America where they've had to take a stand. I thought Budweiser was at one point trying to support them, and then stock fell, and people just wasn't buying the shit. So they've had to come back and make some changes. Dion said they want that fat ass, Kev. I just love how Dion articulates things. He said, "Would you get surgery to have 14 inches?" I wouldn't personally. I don't. No, I wouldn't. Now some brothers might say, "Hell yeah,
your blood might not even pump hard enough." You get all that for nothing, right? You get all that and this shit don't even work no more.
Damn.
He done died, right? It's just not worth it, man. Man, come out the room as if his high blood pressure just really went through the roof. Hey, you added a piece. I mean, come on, no, I wouldn't do that. And I'm good. I'm straight, right? Like I don't have no issues like that. Where I'm like,
blood pressure meds and shit.
Right? No, man, I'm cool. You know what? Not even if it just didn't even work at all, I wouldn't go have a surgery, like a major surgery. I just deal with it. Like it is what it is, man. Gotta find another way to the castle. That's all.
Shit, Kev, there's some shit you can eat.
There you go. See, that's what I'm saying. Right. Invest in that. Don't go running to the surgeon. Hey, man, can you make this work again? Oh, yeah, Mr. Barnes, you got lasers and shit. I'm cool. I'll be at every GNC and every holistic person across the country ordering oysters and all kinds of shit. I'm not, as opposed to getting it cut. Like, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all would, and that's fine. If y'all feel, if you say, man, Kev, real looking like he might say shit, I might think about that shit because, man,
I think about what?
Real wouldn't do that.
Surgery. Get that surgery.
No.
Oh no, man, shit. I wouldn't be able to surgery. That's why I had to grab my nuts and lose that 125 pounds naturally because I look at it all the same, honestly, and I just look at it all as a symptom of motherfuckers trying to be happy and think this is the thing that's gonna make them happy. I mean, you got BBLs on the very opposite, on the very extreme of the spectrum, but I don't look at a chick that got a BBL no different than I look at a woman that got to put another woman's hair on her head as a security blanket to bring her ass out the house. Ooh. So I just look at it all the same.
Yeah, don't get it.
Uh-oh.
Bang, bang,
what
bang,
the preacher say? Hello, neighbor.
Y'all know I be coming outside with on my head.
It's all symptoms of feeling like you gotta add to or remove from yourself to be acceptable. If you can't get your ass up and feel like you the motherfucker without doing anything to you, then you got some soul searching to do and save your money.
See, now, hold on, because now it's women who finna flip it right on us and say, "Oh, you niggas know y'all fly when y'all get y'all hair cut. Get the fuck up out of here." I would go somewhere. I done heard a million of my homies say, "Man, I ain't going nowhere, man. I ain't even had my hair cut."
Yeah, but that's hey, listen. That's different than saying, "Hey, I need a wig."
I don't know. I don't
y'all know I be throwing.
If I ain't got no money, I could cut my hair. You know what I mean? I can't go get a wig.
Man, I know I know women who got a whole second fucking job just to finance their microbladed brows, they individual lashes put on.
Self-care.
They hit, like, call it what you
That
want.
is
It's a
not self-care.
motherfucking
That's
debt
self-maintenance.
because she don't like who the fuck
Yeah.
she see in the mirror without
I ain't been
adding
real.
$1,000 to her ass.
Only on our show, we got a whole female on here, and we talking about wigs and Disney. Like, Courtney, you talking about?
I mean,
you
but
wear
I
the
don't be
wigs
doing all that. I'll throw the wig on, and I just the wig. I start redoing my locks, and real is telling the truth. But during this early lock stage, I be feeling a nigga named Lil Fred. You damn right. So you know, man, I don't like the Lil Fred stage. Sometimes I be out here with my Lil Fred locks. Sometimes I throw a wig on like a hat. I do. But all the other stuff, the
Cody's not a
lashes
wig
and
kind of tour.
She don't need a wig to
The
come out the
difference
house
is-
though.
the
She not
difference
gonna
is-
have an anxiety attack if she
Right.
gotta walk out the
Yeah,
house
That's
without
what I
a
was
wig.
gonna say. The difference
Right.
is Courtney don't need a wig to go out.
Right. I'm not
Right.
knocking wigs. I'm knocking the fact that motherfuckers is so worried about what the next person think that
Right.
they legit will have an anxiety attack if they gotta come out the house with their natural real hair showing. They got to put a wig on or a scarf on because they'd be damned if you just see their natural hair, however it looks.
Yeah, right. And I
Um,
think it's like that with lashes. They like, oh, I wish I would be seen in the world with no lashes on. You know, it's yeah.
right.
I look at
Jesse
it all
Paris,
the
she
time.
says, peace outlaws, brother Shay from Frontline Black News and Shabaka's Black Experience in Hand. Shout out to you.
Peace.
Dion is X-rated in the chat room. I don't know if I can even say this out loud on the air.
I'm
I
happy
would
you ain't
be-
just reading the teleprompter today. You know, usually you
But
just be
no, because right, I had to. Yeah, I learned. I'm learning my lesson slowly
look
but
at
surely.
you.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, Dion, what you're saying has merit because there's something to be said for a woman's natural state. I'm not against that. Like, I feel like if you really with a woman, and you really love, like, appreciate her and love her, it's just what it is, right? Like, maybe you ain't gotta do all that. I ain't tripping on that. But
Right.
I think sometimes when people don't have that and they trying to find that, they kind of experiment with different looks and saying, like Courtney said, sometimes I'm Bob Marley. Sometimes I'm,
Little Fred right now.
Bobby Brown and shit.
Some of them have it, and because they just have not learned to generate happiness on their own, they still they can have a whole man. Look at old girl that just passed away. God rest her dead. But she had a whole man and a man that was making money. Who the fuck do she need approval from?
Right.
But she's in showbiz. There's so many levels to that, real, because she might be sitting around saying, what the fuck am I doing with 3 kids? I had a career. I had aspirations. I wanted to do this. I need to get myself back together and get out here. We can get a nanny. She was an artist as well. Like him, they were both entertainers. So I could see her kind of getting, because women
So
go
is
through
that
that
now
after
the uniform? Are we telling?
because women go through that after they have children. A lot of women look at their bodies and say, dude, I gotta snap back.
Is
postpartum
another
shit.
perspective, right? Like, a lot of women don't understand, like, even after they get that surgery, you still got to make a whole bunch of changes to the way you eat. You still got to start work out, all that shit. You know what I mean? When you start getting this work done, you might as well do it in the first place.
Just do the work, you saying?
Yeah, because you're finna have to do it anyway.
When I was
Women
thinking
think
about
they're gonna get this work done and then come back to their city or whatever, just gonna be fly forever now. Like, she really gotta work now.
Like when I was thinking about getting the weight loss surgery, and I'm like, wait, so I gotta eat motherfucking baby food and work out? I could do that shit and lose weight without getting cut on.
Anyway.
Eating baby food and working out, shit. So
can't neglect to say too, though.
I couldn't find no way to fix
there are some people who need that surgery for health purposes too.
Oh yeah,
It's
there's some people who made it. Before I'm on my 600-pound life, I'm just gonna have to make that move. But while I'm blessed to still be able to move about on my own without an electric scooter and shit, I just gotta go ahead and make it do what it do. And I did it before, and I'm about to do it again. My issue be when motherfuckers had this surgery or shit like that, and then get to shitting on people who don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Now every picture she got her ass in the picture, or now every status.
I mean,
You
she
talking
did pay
about
for it.
somebody who eating too much and shit.
She did pay for it. I mean, why not? You need to get some mileage out of it. You done bought it. Why not floss it? It's like you
Yes,
got a
love
brand
me
new
for my
car.
ass. 'Cause
You
I
got a
ain't got
brand new
shit else
car
to
and you
offer.
parking in the back. Man, you better drive that motherfucker. You got to pay for it every month. Mama Jenkins said, look, I was stacked as a young woman, but as I age, I love me. I've always been told by my mother that a woman body is a treasure and treat yours like it's the best.
Right.
And unfortunately, we don't have like the positive reinforcement that's needed. I don't know if that was Sean. Somebody, I was having a conversation with them one night and they was trying to explain to me a lot of people have lacked the positive reinforcement. And so
That
was that you?
yeah, that was me.
Okay.
One of
That's
those
right,
nostalgic
Sean.
moments that I be having.
Right. You know, I've heard that lesbians are very intelligent. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
my
you
biggest
very much.
question
I
though,
appreciate that.
my
You a
biggest
credit to your
question
people.
is for women who go through with it. Like I remember it used to be this show called the fuck Ugly Duckling or Swan or something. Basically, it was like extreme makeovers.
Right.
And it was a woman, I believe she was even from Milwaukee. And she had won and got the whole shebang bang done, nose job, shit, teeth veneers, lipo, all that shit. And then she was saying how when she got back home after those 3 months or whatever, her youngest didn't recognize her. And then she felt bad because all her children had got the face that she hated so much that she got rid of. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is to these mothers that do it, I mean, by all means, whatever you feel you need to do to be happy, go ahead and do that shit. And then if you're still not happy, it's time to go search within. But for the ones who do it and got daughters who probably got their old shape, like, how does the daughter respond or receive that? Like, damn, mama left me out here with
You
the
know
flat
what?
booty.
I
Or,
don't have
I mean, how that go?
Right.
I don't have a directive one way or the other. One thing I would say to anybody who has these issues or who's considering this is research the shit. Look
Right.
at the health risks. Don't go into this and wake up dead. Okay. Go and get checked out. Go and make sure you do it because some women do it and it works out for them and it changes their trajectory. So I'm just saying no about it. Mike Kimmon said most men are not going to risk losing their lives to get 14 inches.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's, you know, some dudes aim high. Like that's never really been
I
on my
am
bucket
seeing
list.
men though. I'm
You're
seeing
done.
men get these
Because I
motherfucking
didn't want to
muscle
grow.
injections.
When I was
Though.
little, I didn't
Oh,
say I want a 14. What? Okay, I guess I'm
not a
done.
muscle injection.
Okay, yeah, you know,
Yeah, no,
I've always
there's
been
That's why I listen. I don't have that problem. So I don't know what to say.
as long as you got an opportunity to kind of say that, because I feel like a lot of dudes will say, I don't need no surgery. Like, right. The tallest midget, right? It's all
That's
good.
I'm good.
You know, I really be feeling like men don't care. You know, the main thing, man, well, shit, I hit no matter what. That's why
Right.
y'all
I mean,
dick small,
like
boo,
what?
boo, boo, don't why I
Got
hit.
mine.
No
Like,
matter.
Right.
Shit, I hit.
That's bullshit, Courtney. That's bullshit.
No, what do you mean?
Got mine.
Right.
Dudes don't care.
Man,
I hit.
How?
no,
Oh,
I
so
ain't
y'all
just
do be
hitting
care.
any
Y'all be like, damn, this is
No, listen. Okay, so for perspective, because like we say, context is important. Individual perspective is important. I've never felt like if that was the case, or if that had ever happened, that I would feel guilty behind it. I'd pretty much be like, well, that's your problem.
exactly. That's how
Shit.
right.
Peace. I feel like you just too deep. Like maybe you just got too many miles on you. Like
Damn.
who said it's my fault?
So
I mean, maybe you
like
too
the
loose,
because
right?
I
Like,
didn't
I
like
don't
your
know.
sex. Now my shit all deep and got miles.
Right. I mean,
Damn.
I can't help it because I can
Oh
park in
my
there
God.
and shit. I'm sorry, right? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, one of my homeboys said that too. You know, I could be honestly telling you that your penis is small, and now you just want to catch offense and say all these negative things about me. Like, folks, I'm just saying for real. I'm not
I'm
even
just
saying
saying,
to be a
consider the
boast.
perspective. I wouldn't say that I'm not meaning it as an insult. I would say, well, baby girl, maybe you should see a gynecologist. Like maybe you have no walls or something. I don't know what your specific medical condition is. I mean, it's not for me to think about because we're probably not going to interact ever again, right? So I just got to be like, hey, man, one for the road. I'm out, right? I'm out. Get my phone out. I'm just saying, man, you got to be ready to move, man. Especially if you hear that a lot, you got to know, well, this might not be nothing permanent. Mike Kimmon says the BBL shit is about vanity. Mama Jenkins said naturally beautiful, gray, and all. Yeah,
That's
man, we
right,
get
Mama
older.
Jenkins.
I laugh at all these people who tell you, oh, you are. Well, I don't know if you done figured it out, but your ass gonna be old too one day. That's what I tell young people. How old is you? I'm 19. You know, only thing coming after 19 is 20, right? That shit don't stop. Every year, pretty soon you're like, God damn, I'm 50. Right. That shit goes by fast. Dion said, I like that Brazilian wax. Dion gonna tell on himself in a minute, boy. Dion, you ain't mess around the K. Full confessional, boy. He ain't backed up off he been on it every day. Fuck freedom, fuck the people. He had I like stretch marks on titties and Brazilian wax. Boy, you better get out that damn truck before you hurt somebody. He said that'd be a cat on her head. You talking about the hat? the wig is a cat. Naturally look good to ladies. Let me see. Crystal Ship, I see you, my sister. How you doing tonight?
Peace.
We are just chopping it up, having a good time. Shout out to Control C. You gotta laugh because and people tune in and say, oh, they on here joking, they ain't talking about shit. Well, we've already discussed the egregious murders and the violence in the city. We've talked about the 1-year-old who was murdered. But if you feel like you still have something to add to that, please feel free to do so in the chat room or just bang the line. I will hang up on Sean. Y'all know I will hang up on Sean. Just call. I dare you. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, that's that homophobic shit.
I'm homophobic if I hang up on Sean because he's a lesbian, he says, right? Come on, man. Sean is a butch tonight. He's butch tonight. That's what he's saying. I'm a butch. Because you bald. I mean, you short haired. I was gonna say bald headed. You short haired. But I did want to say too, like we were talking about this agenda, and I'm noticing now, I seen Drake with the yellow fingernail polish on. And I see every time I see Lil Uzi Vert, I'm more and more confused. I don't know what he is.
I don't even know what he look like no more.
Well, he's just now he changed his pronouns because I don't know if us old fogies are aware of it. Like there's pronouns that you should use now. Like my last job, they asked me when we would do Zoom meetings, they said, Kevin, put your pronouns up there.
Yeah, man, like, you might be a they or something. Gotta be he him.
Mine's he him his. He him his, but I know it means something if you don't use that. If you use like them or those or something.
They, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you think you both a little bit. So what is Uzi? He a they right now?
Well, I thought he was worshiping the devil. I don't know.
That ain't got nothing to do with pronouns, Kel.
Okay.
Nothing.
Right. My old ass. Like that boy loves Satan. No, I don't know what and see, that's once again, there's always been this movement. Because what's going on with Puffy right now is everybody keep talking about Puffy is like the butt wrangler. Like the hip hop butt wrangler.
They used to always say that.
Right, but they always been saying that about him.
They was always saying that about Puffy.
But now these accusations now there was always whisperers, but now there's like really people coming out with real like details, and I'm like, it seems like once again, and this is pushing the narrative, that whole thing about that black masculinity that y'all thought was so real for so long is not that. It's this. It's not what you thought it is. It's this. It's like an attempt to turn you out.
Hey, remember we was calling Puffy gay back then.
I can't remember back that far.
Shit, we were saying Puffy was gay back then, man.
See, I never thought back then. I mean, we talking about Biggie and all. If we talking about the Biggie era, like I never even thought about that. I didn't know. I just knew he was. I just thought he was rich. Like I didn't know if he was gay or like.
I just thought when some dudes get to a certain tax bracket, they dibble and dabble because.
Okay.
Like. Remember, I was like, shit. I think I even heard a comedian say that shit. Like, how much money is too much money before you get to dibbling and dabbling and shit. But they always were saying that.
And then there's that thing about to really make it in Hollywood and to make it in show business, because we know that there are a lot of high-powered people who live alternative lifestyles in that business. So you gotta, there's these stories about some of the things you actually have to do to really get crossover success, and it's all alleged. But I'm just amazed now that, because like you said, there's been rumblings and whispers, but now it's like this. And when I said butt wrangler, this is what the headline said. Because I watch YouTube. I told y'all I live in the podverse. So I'm always on YouTube, And so I watch more YouTube than I watch TV.
Me too.
I'm usually in my room looking on my iPad watching YouTube with the TV on mute. That's how bad it is, right? And so this is literally what it says, like he's a butt wrangler, and I'm like, whoa, they putting Puffy out there like that? Like it's crazy, man. Dion is talking about trans people.
Remember, I used to be fucking around with them rappers and shit, right? Like not like that, but I used to be a rapper traveling and shit. But that was a known thing, like you know what I mean, with motherfuckers. That was a conversation back then.
Oh yeah, I was yeah. So you closer to it than me. I didn't know that. I mean, I've heard of it now. I'm saying back in them days,
right.
I wasn't thinking about that. But I mean, back then, you didn't really. That wasn't something we was. Is he gay?
No, it wasn't no
that big a deal.
It wasn't no everyday conversation like people.
No, nobody was. It wasn't like the biggest. We knew that there was gay people. We knew that there was whatever, but nobody was walking around preoccupied by that shit. It was like let them do what they do.
Right, because they used to talk about gatekeepers back then. How you know what I mean? Like, man, some of these deals, dog, you got to do some bullshit, and they was Puffy name would come up.
But him and a lot of other people, Mama Jenkins said, check on y'all people. More killing. One dead at St. Francis Hospital. Another dead person at an active crime scene at 13th and Locust, excuse me, and another dead at 17th and Locust per the 9 o'clock news on Channel 58. City, man. Goddamn, Milwaukee. Shit.
You can't even get through the show.
There's a powerful niggertree at work here. That's what you posted. And
yes, sir. That's Uncle Ruckus who said that. Some powerful niggertree at work here. The Alphabet Mafia agenda is incorporating pedophilia and another sexual deviant orientations. My brother Jesse says. He said, right, Kamar Puffy always been suspect. I don't know. Sometimes, I don't pretend. Listen, I don't proclaim to know everything. I'm always greatly appreciative when one of my co-hosts or somebody who's listening can say, no, Kev, actually, it's yada, yada, yada. I mean, I learned just like I give, I ain't gonna say that because that sounded puffy. So I was gonna give it like I take it, but I'm not gonna take that off, right?
Take that.
Dion to be in the chat room like, I like to get it too, Kev. Like, you still on that? Dion was aggressive. Like, give me some stretch marks. Crystal Ship said, I just want to shout out all the Black businesses and organizations that are growing and glowing. It's dope to see Black excellence on my timeline. It shifts my feelings around all the senseless murders. It gives hope, resilience, drive, and grit. I'm glad you process it like that, Crystal. And I would hope that you communicate that to a lot of people because a lot of people need to hear that message. But it's become like it's distracting to me. Like I do. I love that too. I appreciate all the things you just named off. And look, I had a great weekend, right? I done started my peace garden and all this. I chilled, with my family. It was good. Got to put some kebabs on the fire and everything. But when I go and turn on the news or when I'm hearing, especially when it's people that I know, and like that's what I'm saying, to turn a blind eye to it, and then it creeps up. It's close for it to even hit T-Rock or Yayo. For me, I feel like, Tupac said, I see death around the corner. Like that's getting really close to like people who I know. So it's it is very distracting though. But I do appreciate, like you said, it does give me hope. When I see Black people trying to do something, it does give me a little hope. But when I see what a lot of us are on, it disgusts me. Sorry. That's why I was hollering gentrification last week. I was on this motherfucker about to join the grand old party. I was an inch away from full coonery. I'm trying, y'all don't even know. I was gonna go me some New Balances, some running sneakers, and I was gonna give me a Volvo.
Ain't nothing wrong with New Balance, man.
Man, the running shoes, the real jogging New Balances, not the ones Black people be wearing that be color matching their outfit. I'm talking about the real runners.
Oh man, I gotta change my shoes.
No, you see an old man with some old real jogging New Balance, like that dude jog. You know what I'm saying? He driving a Volvo. I was finna do all that shit, man. I was really in my feelings.
Change my shoes.
Man, I went and got me some New Balances. Earl Henny said the sick is mad. You said the city, I think he means the city is mad with guns. I think the guns are in the wrong hands of the people, wrong people's hands. I mean, I'm sorry. There's no such thing as bad guns, it's bad people. Now, Courtney, you had a post talking about on Facebook that your son was telling you his theory about where these guns come from, right?
Yeah, that they be hitting these trains, and I mean, I've heard this story before, and I guess I forgot about it, but I remember about. Yeah, and he was like, it seems like I don't know how they got it synced up. It seems like they know the exact time, and it just seemed like it's a government drop off. Like most likely it is. You know what I'm saying? All these
That's been
army militia
they used to
ass
say that
guns.
back in the day. I mean,
Yeah.
well, it's been
Yeah.
shown. It's been shown actually. Like in
Yeah.
Chicago, they was talking about that a while back.
Yeah, I've heard that story that there was a bunch of trains that mysteriously showed up in Chicago and they were full of weapons. And you've heard that story about in the 80s in Los Angeles where mysteriously a bunch of guns showed up. But you almost have to ask yourself, where do they get these? Because listen, I'm a gun, I love guns, right? Like I'm a responsible gun owner.
They used to bring them to
But
the hood.
but some of these weapons and some of the stuff they're using is very expensive. And as a legal owner, I got to jump through hoops to get them. So I do sometimes say, where the fuck is they getting all this shit from? You can't this can't all be straw purchases, right? Like,
They bring them to the hood, man. That's
Yeah.
how we used to buy them. We used to meet an old white dude up on 24th and Capitol.
okay.
He'd leave from us and go right to the BOS hood and sell them some guns.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now he may have
So
been
we kill each other.
he may have, because private, you go to a gun show, there's private gun,
Yeah.
private dealers, and they don't have to go through the same kind of thing. So he might have just been a white dude from Elkhorn who just hit a lick and come to Milwaukee. I don't know if he was Illuminati or
Maybe,
I don't know
but
if he
that's
was
one of the
conspiracy.
answers, though.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I can accept that. I mean, that's it's all in the game, as they say. Mike Kimmon said gun shows. Yeah, gun shows are, and I don't know what people don't really, because most people don't go to gun shows, so they don't know what that really is. Like, this is really like a warehouse full of any and everything that got to do with guns and guns themselves, and you can literally go in there. And then a lot of cases circumvent the 48-hour wait and all this kind of stuff, and you can walk with it. And it's legal for them to do that. So when you start thinking about if they really want to solve the problem, why don't they just regulate private firearms dealers? Like, wouldn't that put a crimp in something? It makes you just wonder, like, right? So you start thinking about.
You gotta stop talking, but you gotta stop talking that white talk, that black talk, boy. No master gonna kick your ass.
You right, and eyes scared. You right, and eyes is scared, right? But no, I think it is time for us to start saying, okay, hold on. Where the fuck are all these guns coming from? Because I feel like there's got to be somebody in a high position who's kind of letting some shit slide. It's like people thought you were crazy back in the 80s when nobody had taken the time yet to say, where's all this cocaine coming from? Right? If somebody had just stopped at that early in the game and said that, and we would have figured, okay, we traced this all the way back to the United States government, I think we would have been able to deal with the drug epidemic a lot sooner than we did. So we just kind of said, oh shit, it's a plague. Nobody says, hey man, we got to figure out where this shit comes from. Right? So and shout out to any brother out there who said, I've been saying that. In the 1980s, I was saying that. Right. You and your guys was the only one who knew. Right? Because we was buying gold chains and making rap labels. Nobody was saying the CIA is bringing this shit in.
Exactly.
Right.
So but yeah, I think it's time for, maybe we should ask the mayor and say, sir, do you have a feel, when you talk to law enforcement agencies, do you even have a feeling of where these guns are coming from? Because they seem to continuously be getting in the hands. I went to my barber last week. He's on 25th and Capitol, right? I still go to the hood to get my hair cut, right? Do that mean I'm exploiting the hood? I don't know. He's black though. But the window of his barbershop was shot out. His window was shot out, and I said, what happened to? He's like, well, two dudes was driving down Capitol having a shootout, and they shot my window out. Like literally two cars driving down Capitol Drive, shooting at each other. And so I'm like, well, now, and that's why dumb bozo, I don't want to say his name, but when I say, well, where's the police? Should I not have an expectation that there are policemen strategically placed on Capitol Drive, which is the main thoroughfare of the city? Shouldn't my expectation be like, well, there should be some regular patrols and, why is it so easy Why is it so thin, right? And I know they're saying we're undermanned, we're overwhelmed, and da 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 da. I'd like somebody who knows the real logistics of it to call me, because I don't like to just say something and just because it sounds good. Fuck the police. Why? That's what Draynham said. You don't even know why you saying the shit, right? Like, so, because we always had that argument about, I know some dudes that's police officers that are good dudes. I said it, right? For anybody who don't agree, I got some partners that are cops that they're good dudes, right? So I can't say fuck all police. And I'm sure not hoping that he get killed in the line of duty. Then I feel bad, just as bad as I did about a homie getting killed. Mike Kimmons says, look at how the ATF supposedly lost 1 million guns and they ended up in the hands of the cartels. Now, what is that? Is it, Mike? Is it the DEA or the ATF in Milwaukee that at one point a couple years back they was just straight bozos?
Yeah.
Was that the ATF or the DEA when they had the mentally ill, mentally handicapped dude working for them as like their main go-to, and like they had him out here doing all this stuff, and they were like running a gun store or something, wasn't they? And I think that's when they lost the guns. He ended up getting shot.
Oh,
And it comes out that they knew this dude was like had mental health issues. Yeah, here in Milwaukee. I don't know if it's, I got to go and do my research. It was either the DEA or the ATF, right? And so it was like, dude, what the hell? And like he lived though.
and he was working with them.
Yeah, they had him. He was there, like he was their mark. Like he was the one who they set him up. Like you know, you go out. That's why he ended up getting caught in the cross and getting shot.
Damn.
Just to start trying to figure out, like, man, that's a whole cop joint. Somebody tell me who it was. I know Mike Kimmon knows. But yeah, he was mentally ill. It's documented. You can look it up in the newspaper. He was mentally ill. He ended up getting shot. Was he paralyzed or something like that? But yeah, so let me see. Crystal Ship just dropped on us. It says it's exactly a distraction. Knowing it's a distraction, let it push you to be even greater. Let it push you to find the good in all things. I can name 30 people off the top of my head that have broke bread or been close to me that have passed away. I try my best to block my negative feelings and thoughts with positive ones. It's not easy, but it's possible. Life can be lifing, and the trauma alone can kill someone. As often as I see the pain on my timeline, I'm grateful to also see equally. Okay. So young Trolley Troll says they're chasing shot spotter reports nightly. Ask Cavalier how many they follow up on every hour. I read the same thing you read.
We
So
know
I know
about all that shit. And see, that's what I'm saying. Don't just be here to say the same bullshit.
That's why they have the shot spotter. That's what they have it for. We're very aware. Didn't I reference that? Like they got a shot spotter and all this kind of stuff. We're aware of that. But I do want to know, was it the DEA or the ATF who did that to the young young man? Yeah, was anybody fortunate enough to go down and hear Tupac's sister? She was here, Setua. Shout out to Jasmine Tyler. Jasmine do big things, man. She got her Wisconsin Fest coming. And so when Crystal Ship talks about stuff like that, that's what I'm saying. I get what she's saying. Like when you see some of us just continuously still out here fighting, trying to just stay on the positive note, I get that too.
Right.
And normally I can maintain that balance, but last week it was thrown because it was T-Rock, and it was thrown the week before because it was Ye. Like these is brothers that I knew, and I know for a fact they weren't bad dudes. These wasn't dudes who stick up whatever molesters. These was dudes who had morals and who had love. Who was dudes who had went through whatever they was going through and still fight.
Kev, the thing is, man, through all this shit, we still, got to keep our head up. We got to keep our spirit strong. We got to continue to do the good that we doing. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be more tragic shit that happen in the future. We got a long way to go. You know what I mean? Before anything can be right. You know what I'm saying? But we just got to remember, man, to stay strong. And remember, we got a lot of racist folks that just want to talk shit about us. But, people like Scott don't ever talk about the good that we got going on. You know what I mean? Probably because people like him don't even know it.
Right. And for whatever reason,
you did what I'm saying, but he can point that bullshit out, though.
I honestly expect no less. Like there's a bunch of people in Wisconsin. Honestly, I wouldn't expect any less from them. I've seen it not just on his behalf, but I've seen it in a lot of different incidents where for them it's entertainment. Like if you ever go to Fox 6 or Channel 12 or Channel 4 or 58, and you go on their page and you read the comments from stories. If it happens in the hood, oh, they say all kinds of. They got
They be
all kinds
racist
of
as
jokes.
fuck, man.
They got the hood and the hood rats and da 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 da. You know, but you don't see us when they have little Timmy them overdosing on antidepressants. You don't see us in the comments. The fuck y'all get or none of that. So it just kind of shows where their hearts are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he said, as far as black people doing good, he don't know it and seriously don't see it.
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. So we need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's my whole point right there. You know what I mean? It's all kind of good going on.
Right. Hold on, I'm getting an echo. Somebody about to get hung up on. Uh-oh.
You know,
who trying to watch New York Undercover? Somebody trying to listen to the Hot 10 V100 while we doing the show. I'm gonna find out who playing Reggie Brown. Hold on.
Even these conversations that we have.
Go ahead, Kamar.
Even these conversations that we have, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good for the community. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that we bring up that need to be heard. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of point of views that need to be heard. You know what I mean? We offering solutions. We offering self-help for people. You know what I mean? What the fuck is he talking about? He don't see nothing. He hears shit every time he watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing you could ever do would ever appease them. That's what I'm saying.
You know
it's not worth it.
We talk about all the places. We talk about the different places we be. We talk about the different events that's getting put up in the community. You know what I mean? We got all this shit going on, but this asshole can't hear it. All he sees is the bullshit. You need to block his motherfucking ass.
Mike said that was the ATF, he believes. I believe so too, Mike. I just didn't want to misquote. It was a faux pas, however, whatever the weather. It was a faux pas, and it was a very bad look for them. Let me see. I wanted to kind of speak. What time is it? Well, it's almost 9:30. I promised myself I'll be out of here earlier tonight. Because we'll be back Wednesday. I like the madness. I feel like I'm putting a hat on it. I want individuals. Okay. I want some of my people who can't appreciate things to like isolate themselves. Like right now, there's a group of individuals who want to go to the lakefront. They want to go to the lakefront. They want to fight. Sean, you on the air? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. They go to the lakefront. They want to fight. They want to do all this shit, right? We already know the lakefront used to close at 11 p.m. It's the good people who suffer, right? So, and I enjoy sometimes taking a ride with my family down to the lakefront and just chill, and we can just sit there. And I used to take my kids there when they was little all the time, right? Like that was one of our spots, and they'd be like, "Daddy, you go to the lake in summertime." But I want to say to people, why you don't have to fuck up everything. Why? Because it's one of those things we talk about habitual line steppers. Because your life is shitty, you want to make mine shitty. And so I would just maybe we can start to tell people that if you can't act right when you go somewhere, don't go. You know what I'm saying? Like you fucking it up for everybody. We already got these goddamn bumper cart things sticking out our fucking street because motherfuckers want to do the fool. But like this even gets more and more personal for me because like damn man, like what is it about you can't go nowhere and just enjoy it because you got people who just want to act a goddamn fool. I don't know. Have y'all seen this madness at the lakefront? Have y'all seen this bullshit? Like
I haven't seen it.
What
happened?
It happens every year, kid.
I mean, what was they doing besides? Were they fighting or was they just kicking it? What happened?
It's fighting, and it's the understanding when it's time to go, take your ass home. You ain't fuck that. We ain't going nowhere. The hell you preach? Like what's that commercial when dudes say there's no rules and he take off his shirt and somebody say put your shirt back on and he'd be like there's rules. Like come on man, this is not your planet. It's time to go. The shit's closed. Go home. It's just that simple, right? It's just this bullshit where I know fuck that. I mean, it's been a situation where some law enforcement people been hurt, whatever. Like it's been real brawls for it all.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like people want to live like lawlessly. Like they just I don't gotta abide by nobody rules and just like god damn man.
I
Shit
I
just
was
pisses me off.
I don't know, Kev. I was like that when I was younger, and
I knew
I
you was
don't.
gonna say that.
I was, man. After my mama kicked me out, I just felt like shit. I'm out here now. Shit, y'all can't tell me what to do, and it felt like wasn't nobody really trying to tell me what to do. And I mean, I wasn't super wild like how wild they are, but I don't
And
know.
I hear you reference a lot of the stuff, and I think we all have. I know Kamar and myself have undergone a tremendous transformation in terms of our mentality and where we once were. But even now, I can admit that it was wrong though. It
Hell
was wrong
yeah,
when I did it, and it's still wrong.
and that's why I be saying sometimes I think some kids you can reach them talking to them and certain shit, but some of them they just got to go through that shit. I think I was a person that kind of I don't know if it was really some shit you could tell me. Really, I just
I
life
agree.
had to do what the fuck it was gonna do. Cause it's like nigga whatever. Come out
I
here.
agree, because you know that go with what we be saying, Kev. Like we can teach our kids all the shit that they need to know and how to act and how to, you know what I mean, talk to people and have respect out here. But you know, sometimes when they get away from us, they do what the crowd do. They know better, but they just do different sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Mike put the archived article. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. For what I was talking about with the ATF. Put the article up. My Paris says, "Who is Scott?" He's just a white Wisconsinite, man. He's a white dude from Wisconsin. I don't know why his perspective would surprise anybody. To me, this is how most white people in Wisconsin feel. Like it shows. The proof is in the pudding. And especially in Milwaukee and this whole little Milwaukee County, Waukesha, Kenosha, man, this shit is rife with straight racism, right? We know that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not, dude. You don't even deserve a drop of energy when you on some bullshit. So I like fuck you, just like I said with anybody else. Mama Jenkins said my grandson is a sheriff, and he said it was a mess. He's only 25, and he said no respect. But he said, but they wild out here, and they really dangerous, even those girls. Mr. Kimmett, how you doing this evening?
Hey, what's going on, family?
How you doing, my brother?
Hey
What's
there.
good?
I'm doing good, doing good. Hey, that link I sent you was not for the ATF article.
Okay, my bad.
That was that's an article for Cody Sussman. It's a dude named Cody Sussman. When you were talking about the guns,
Okay.
that was an article I just kind of put in there because Cody Sussman was interesting. If you read that, or even if you look up his name, which is spelled as Cody Cody Sussman, which is Sustman. If you even look up his name, there was an article in the Revolver. It's called the Revolver, a magazine, Milwaukee Revolver. It's deep, bro. When you talk about them guns, You know what I mean. When you talk that gun stuff, I mean it's a deep article because that white boy was responsible for a number of murders. He put guns out here and was responsible for a number of murders, and when they charged him, they only gave him probation. And he said, when they asked him, like, why do you think you got probation? He said, because I was young, dumb, and white.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But he littered Milwaukee with guns, man. Littered them. And you remember when that what's that, Jimmy John's deliverer got shot and killed? You remember that years ago?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when that guy hit one of the guns, the gun that was used to murder him came from Cody Sussman. And then he got the guns from his uncle, who was, at trade shows. He had like 1,000 guns laying around, so he would go in there and clip, take 200 guns. Him and another white guy, they would take like 200 guns. And he talks about how he came down to Milwaukee and the black dudes would buy all the guns off of him, and it was cool. They found out they would exchange cocaine for guns. So it's deep, Kev. When you talk about that whole gun thing, even one of the guys that was involved with him, a 71-year-old guy, he was selling guns at the gun show. He sold an agent, I think, about 200 or 300 guns, and with no waiting period or nothing. He just sold them to him, no trace back to him. It was cash for guns at a gun show. That's why when people say, how do they get on the streets, man, they get out here. And then primarily, too, you can look at, just being real with you, Kevin, from the culture, find you a Russian and you'll find you a bunch of guns.
Right.
Okay.
I'm serious. assist.
Brothers don't make guns nor bring them to
Yeah.
the country. None of that shit.
What do you say?
I said brothers ain't making no guns nor bringing them to the hood.
Yeah, we not, man. I mean, come on, man.
Right.
You look at some of the weapons in the hands of some of these cats out in Cali and New York and stuff like that. They're being brought in. You can bring guns in, man. You file off they file off the serial numbers, and they may have 100 different, whether it's AR-15s, and you connect with somebody, and you go buy you 15 AR-15s, and they come particularly in our community because you have, you have that. You have a lot of that going on in terms of like, cats loading up with guns. I mean, you go out in Cali, you'll find your gun in a matter of minutes. You connect with the right person, man. You can walk away, get you 400 or 500 guns, and bring them right back and distribute them all day long. They know that, man. And then, are we really serious that we believe that when they do the gun buyback things, that them guns don't end up on the streets, that they burn all those guns and get rid of them? It's not true.
Right.
You remember Tupac? When Tupac shot them two off-duty police officers, he got off because they had stolen the weapons from the damn police department.
Right.
They stole the weapons from it's just, like I said, the ATF lost almost 1 million weapons that turned up in Mexico among the cartels. And they called that, I think it was Fast and Furious. They called it Fast and Furious.
Yep. And
So that's why I said, man, but they know what they're doing. They saturating us. You know what I mean? We're the ones who they don't care about. So they come and saturate us with all kind of guns, 9mm. You know what I mean? And they drop them off.
That's what I'm saying, Mike.
I
understand the caliber of weapons. Like, I'm a gun guy, so I understand these kids ain't playing with no Saturday night specials and no 380s and no 22s. They coming with the newest AR pistols with drums on them.
Absolutely.
Right, with beams on them. And I'm looking at the material like in the gun world, we call certain things furniture, right? Like you got a gun, what kind of furniture you got on it? And these boys I'm looking like I ain't even got that. Like who he shot with?
When did that come out?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like so, and shout out to Eddie Silas too. I'm still trying to work with Wisconsin Firearms and Trading, and Eddie. It's still coming. Progress is a slow process sometimes. So a shout out to Eddie Silas, who you can get your carry concealed weapon permits from, and you can get training. So ladies, brothers who really want to be safe, who feel like they need to add that extra layer, you can go up there, and he does training classes and he does the certification. So real knowledgeable brother about these firearms. But no, back to what you were saying though, Mike, I totally agree with you. Like there has to be some sort of revolving door involved with how the guns come. Like we talking about a Glock 17, which is a 9mm handgun. Gen 4 right now is going in retail probably about $700. Let's say $700. And that's just a 9mm. That's 700. That's the smallest caliber that I'm aware of with a Glock. But as you go up the price, we're talking about up to $1,000 per pistol. And you see in neighborhoods where 50 dudes got these guns, 100 dudes got these guns, another 50 got ARs. Where they getting that shit costs? Where the money where they getting the money from? It just seemed like you getting the guns before you get the money, and then you can go get the money once you got the guns. I feel like that's how.
Right. And back in the day, you had to get the money and then get you a gun.
Then get the gun, right? Like it's a lot of broke motherfuckers with an AR-15 with a drum on it. Motherfucker, you can't even afford the ammo. I bet you I will be able to after tonight, right? Like so, you gonna go shopping. That's his credit card.
But I'm gonna tell you something, Kevin. It's being cool. I'm going to say this because years ago, man, I just offered this. I'm not much to speak on a lot of things, but I will say this. You had a point, man. We had a young brother, man, in the hood, and he's still around and stuff like that, man. Cool young brother. This was almost like maybe 15, 20 years ago, like close to about 15-some years ago. This brother had to be about 19, but he had to plug on almost any gun you wanted. We used to go and see him, talk with him. The brother had to plug on. He was 19, bro. You know what I mean? And he had to plug, and he had boatloads of guns because they were giving him to him. Right. You know what I mean? And this brother had everything. You had people, man, it's people out here with suppressors.
Okay.
And you have to understand that these guns are flooded into the community, man. And I'll never forget that because he was so young, man. We used to trip off that. He's like 19 years old, and he's like, yo, he's running. I'm talking about open up the trunk, open up the van, and it's nothing but guns, brother. nothing but guns. And that was wild to me, man. So someone's plugging him in. You know what I mean? But he was plugged. And so that's why I say it's so deadly. But it's, to me, it's the way they treat us, man. They put this out there, and we cannot forget how the system is, man. The system is designed to do exactly what it's doing now. You know what I mean? How did the drugs arrive? We didn't have boats. We never brought them over. You know what I mean? They systematically always came into our community. But the thing about that is it always trickled back down to them. You know what I mean? You brought the drugs, and now look who's on the drugs. You know, you brought crack in, and now crack took over the white community to a degree. Well, and that's when you decide to say, like, yo.
And it's also funny to me, Mike and Sean, are you back in with us now? You was real jumbled. We wasn't connecting.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
But I wanted to say this too. I don't see how, why they think it's so funny when it happens in our community, when the majority of the time when there's a mass shooter, right? It's easy for you to laugh because 2 brothers got killed in the hood, but your people kind of hold the patent on the mass shooting up schools, right? But you think gun crimes are funny? You think it's time to step in and say, "Oh, look at them hood rats," when your youth are like
absolutely
like straight serial killers? But you think it's funny when it's happening in our community. Like, so that's why I say I don't give them a lot of energy a lot of times, because only an insane motherfucker can't see what's going on in his house, but can see everything going on in somebody else's house. This motherfucker right here got issues, right? Like, so that's what I'm saying. When I see, I usually wouldn't even respond. I only really responded to this foolishness because it was the homie, and I just had to let them know, hey, everything ain't sweet, man. There's people out here who got love for that man while y'all here making a fucking joke, racist motherfuckers. And so, but they paint that narrative. But I like you said, it's always okay. What's my phrase? Behind every great fortune, there's a great crime, and behind every great crime is a white man. I've always said that, right? Like, and so people disagree. Like, Cam, that ain't to me. When I've looked into the most corrupt industries, it's usually a picture from 1817, some of an old white dude with a hat on. Like, he the one who started this shit. It's like, damn. These motherfuckers been criminals from the original.
But you know
life.
what, Kev? You know what, Kev? It's so sinister though. There was I gotta remember, I gotta find this thing that came out. It was a whole damn thing on Netflix where it was a town right here in Wisconsin, right? And so they did a documentary. This town was flooded. The Mexican cartel came into this town, and these white boys were pushing meth and everything else, and they were murdering people in this town. You never heard a word about this, man. This is right here in Wisconsin. And they had this town, and they literally were trying to figure out, they did a whole documentary on this, and it's on Netflix. I got to pull it up and find it again. But I had people tripping because this was going on, but it was never reported by the media like this. But they were down there killing people, kidnapping people. And this is right in Wisconsin, right here. And it was white folks. And they were getting caught up on this meth, getting caught up on this Mexican cartel. They were busting them. You know what I mean? The Mexican cartel went to this Wisconsin city, you know what I mean, and was making a killing. And that's why I say it's so interesting. They put everything out there for us, but you don't hear about this town. Well, and then they were coming in with you. Go ahead.
I seen a documentary about some towns in Ohio that was so devastated by heroin and pills, where the white people was like zombies on the street. Like the whole, damn near the whole, and there was, what was it in Indiana where there was like an 85% AIDS rate in this community because of intravenous drug use? This is what I'm saying. Like, these people stand on no platform of superiority. And that's why we can't really actually let them trigger us. I know it's a time and a place. And sometimes, it's one of them situations where somebody needs to get the shit slapped out of them. I get it. But I mean, you got to consider the source, right? Like, it's a lot of times I hear something from somebody and I don't fall for it because I'm like, I'm considering the source. That motherfucker never knows what he's talking about. So, and usually when I look into it, I was right. He didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Let me catch my chat room for a second. If you're just tuning in, we're towards the end. It's Outlaw Radio live from the basement on a Monday night. You can still, I got capacity on my phone because if people was kind of tripping on me, just dissing my phone, right? So like I can take multiple callers. 262-202-5131. You can hit the ground running with us. Yeah, man. You can call in. I ain't even gotta hang up on Sean just to have you on no more. Jesse Parrish said, right, what up with them straps they dropping in Chicago crates? That's what Courtney was saying her son was saying to her. I've heard that story several different times, that there's been this situation where trains show up mysteriously in some hot neighborhoods with guns.
Absolutely.
Mama Jenkins said, hurry up and get that gunman on here. I need a new piece of steel. I can hook you up with him, Mama Jenkins. I can hook you up with him. He's a real cool brother. Dion says, I see a racist white woman killed a mother in Florida. I mean, come on, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, consider the source. He said he sent me the inbox. I'm gonna check it out when I get off. Dion. Harris says, I'm always weary of them gun buybacks. They have them in Denver, Colorado, too, where he's at. And Jesse Vaughn says, sounds like Racine. Now, this was a town, I believe it was in Indiana or Ohio, where it was like decimated by heroin. And like they were just showing these people, and people just like on the streets of the town, just like laid out. And then there was this really high AIDS rate. It may have been two different stories even. So I don't, it's like, I mean, you ain't telling me nothing I don't already know when you say the black community is dysfunctional. Like, you're not telling me anything I don't know, right? But I just think it's about having respect, because I don't show up on, that'd be like me going on anytime.
Ohio?
I don't know. I would have to look it up, Sean. I have to go. I don't want. What I've learned is I don't want to say the wrong thing, because people be like, "You what the fuck you talking about?"
East Liverpool. It's one of them.
Okay.
It's either East Liverpool or Marion.
Okay. And it might, like I said, it might be two different stories. The AIDS, the one where the AIDS was the problem from the drug use, and then the one where people were just like out of it, just like. And I'm like, damn, you don't see that on CNN, do you? On Fox News, right? They always present themselves in these great positions. But yeah, man, it's like I said, man, it's one more thing for our city's leadership to focus on. And I say, if the police are overwhelmed, then there needs to be some sort of leadership that, like, I feel like, why can't the police and the county, the sheriff depths work together? If you that overwhelmed, hell, if it's a real serious issue, can we get some state troopers? Can we get them out here too?
But see, KB, you asking them to work together, they have the power to arrest, right? That's not the problem. The problem is preventing this shit from happening. How do we get to that?
Well, you see the footage on Facebook that's out viral, where the kids are in the Kia and they go right around the police, turn around in the street, burn out, throw all kinds of middle fingers, and the police just keep the fuck on going. Now, if you're telling me they don't want to do their job because somebody said defund the police, then I think you need to fire those police. You ain't gonna never get to a situation where somebody ain't criticizing your damn job, right? Like, that's like me not serving no more Whoppers at Burger King because somebody said something bad about, well, we ain't serving no more then. What the fuck you work at Burger King?
Kev,
what's happening?
Kev, I believe those officers were scared, though. That's the thing about it. I believe that they were just scared to do their damn job. That was intimidating. I mean, just think about that. If someone's riding you like that, you're thinking to yourself, like, damn, they don't give a damn. So what is behind the wheel? You know what I mean? What is behind the wheel? You may not go home today. I think they just scared as hell.
Well, shit,
the only problem is they took the job.
Right. So that's what I was going to say, Mike. So
that's the only problem.
Exactly. But most of them, right, they scared as hell. Most of them scared as shit. You're not dealing with no tough guys when you look at police officers, man.
You said the police getting ready to leave the house and they ask you, is they still out there? Motherfucker, you tell me.
Exactly.
They still out there. You call the police like it's 3 dudes outside shooting at my house. Duck, nigga. You call them when they leave. Like, the fucking police scared like that? Like, now, in that situation, in that scenario, then I will say we got to get rid of those officers and replace them with officers who really about that cop life, right? Like doing what a cop's supposed to do, I guess, whatever that is. In terms of, serve and protect. Now, we know there's a lot of brave police officers. We know that. I don't want to generalize, but that footage is kind of like Milwaukee in a nutshell, ain't it? Because I just said, where's the police when all this shit is going on? Well, you got your answer right there. They had just rolled through. Now, as soon as they kept going, I'm sure something happened at that scene after that.
In the meanwhile, we got motherfuckers like Scott trolling our behavior.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now the police took these jobs and they ain't doing their job.
Well, he said
they rather point the finger at us than point the finger at them. Son of a bitch.
Them cops on Facebook didn't look like they was chasing no shot spotter. They looked like they was on the way to get something to eat. Like, man, let these motherfuckers go.
Y'all gotta remember, man. Y'all gotta remember. Every crime that they don't solve, that's overtime.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
overtime.
I don't know, but I don't know what y'all expect Scott to say. I don't know. What do you
Nothing.
when you see
Nothing.
his
Shut
name
the
in the
fuck up.
comments, you already know it ain't gonna be nothing pro-black coming out his mouth.
Shut
So
the
it's
fuck
like,
up. Shut the fuck up since he don't see nothing good. Look for something good.
well, he'll never see good in black people. He just
That's
said
the
it.
problem.
He said he don't see nothing good
He
in
need
us.
to stick, he need to stick to the Fox 6 page.
Or the little chihuahua that he sleeps with.
The CNN
Y'all
pages.
just about Scott lonely ass.
No, I just threw it out there just because we kind of wrapping
Scott
everything
lonely.
up. Well, no, he got a little dog, man. The dog, they're very close.
Yeah,
What's going on with you,
he got a dog that he fucked.
Hey, it's you, baby. What's that, child?
Nah, no, it ain't, man. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up, man.
Stop it. Knock it off. Knock it off. Hey, but Kev, y'all remember the Clyde Bundy thing?
Uh-huh.
The Bundy Ranch, you remember that?
Yeah.
How they went up there on that bullshit. They went up there with their guns, and the Bundy family came out like, yo, with a ton of ammunition and a ton of guns, and they said, shit, we can't run up in here.
Right.
That's the thing about that, man. I mean, when we know it's easy to catch someone running, and it's 3 or 4 yards, and you get to shoot and you gun them down. But the thing changes, man. When you want to really deal with numbers, that Bundy Ranch had me tripping because they went up there with their guns and they came out and said, we got more guns than you. And they turned their ass off. That standoff was like, yo, okay, we're going to let y'all go. When do y'all want to turn yourselves in? I mean, they did that shit like, yo, pick a date. You know what I mean? Pick a time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, we can't get all y'all. So
We'll have our people call your people. Right?
Call your people.
Right.
That's what I said. I mean, that police job, man, is no slight to them, but let's be real about it, man. The people who are often officers are not your tough guy elites. It's not. You know what I mean? It's not. It's those who will obey the command and do what I say do. You know what I mean? They recruit those. That's what they recruit. They don't. Even if you look at the police departments across the country, man, there's not a lot of military guys on the police department at all. It's not a bunch at all. You got to ask yourself, why is that? Because it's very difficult to get those who have been overseas or in combat to adhere to you telling them what to do. You know what I mean? It's very difficult. They've been over there in wars, man, and they won't go along with everything. You know, they may see something and not go along with it, and we'll defy that. That goes right with the brother remember the brother who was killed in California?
Which one?
You remember him?
It's a whole
the
lot
brother,
of
the brother in California. No, I remember my man. I forgot his name.
Police.
Yeah, they actually. Yeah. Remember they burned him out. They ended up burning him alive. Pretty much. They cornered him.
No, we talking about the one that sent the robot on. I thought that was in Texas. Well, that was
no,
in Cali.
not that.
You talking about the one they caught in the woods? He was in the woods and shit.
Christopher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Christopher.
Man,
I can't remember his name.
Dorner, I think it was.
Christopher Dorner. That was his name. Yeah, because he had been a police officer. He was a military man, and then he had been a police officer. He was a military dude, though. Right? Yeah, he had been in the military.
And he didn't fall in line. He was like, I seen him bleed. I seen him let people bleed out, and he went. He ended up shooting, I think, a sergeant's daughter or something like that. Sniped her, killed her. You know what I mean? He waged war on them, man. And he said his whole manifesto, when you read it, he was like, yo, that's why you can't, that's why they do not want military individuals, because they see that and they may turn at any moment. They see that. They letting he talked about how they were letting people bleed out, how they were, killing people, making jokes. And no one said anything. They just, everybody put up we feel for the victims and shit like that. We do that every time, man. What he wrote was very real.
You see,
and it was ignored.
You see how quick they put a hat on what happened here in Miller, right?
Absolutely.
That was a real tragic situation. And there was multiple levels to it. And in that, number one, that this was allowed his harassment was allowed to happen as long as it did. And that, everybody kind of ignored it. But there's also tragic that he went over the edge and just said, you know what? It is what it is. I'm about to do the Lord's work. That was very tragic as well. But you have a lot of black people who are under these pressures, man, who I mean, they say that's why the white dudes do it, right? Like that's why they go and shoot up the school or go shoot up the movie theater or whatever. Like I just think right now in our country, it's a moral issue as well. Like if you took all the guns away, it'll be some rock throwing motherfuckers that'll be learning how to murder your ass with rocks and sticks. Like they would have swords and blades and chains and shit. Like people will always, it's human nature almost. People will always find a way to off each other, especially when they get into it. And don't let it be about some rubles, about some paper. Motherfucker, like, oh, we finna go to war with these motherfuckers, right? So
Absolutely, yeah.
you know, I just think there's a moral, like America right now, and it's funny that white people like to laugh like it's just us. You motherfuckers is fucked up too, right? And like I can't, like if anybody shouldn't be laughing, I feel like they shouldn't be grinning and shit. Like, oh, these niggas are out of control, really, right? Where's your daughter at?
But
it's go ahead, Mike.
It's so much care. It's so much care to this. Like, I don't know if you heard the story that the last 3 or 4 mass shootings. You do know, I think they ended up saying that each one of those individuals were LGBTQ.
Oh, I wasn't.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, look that up, man. I found out that the guy was speaking on that. He said they would not release the last shooting. I think the transgender individual, I think it was, she had a manifesto that she wrote, and they will not release it. They're trying to get it from them. You know what I mean? And they will not release that manifesto that she wrote. So that's why I said that was interesting. And the guy pointed out that the last 3 or 4, and I went to go look it up. I was like, damn, he's right. They were all LGBTQ.
Wow.
And that's why I said, like, they're quick they're quick to cover it up, man. They're quick to cover it up. I mean, you just don't get the story here in America. You don't get it.
Right.
You know?
So that's why I said there's more than enough reason to be, concerned and aware of them. But I think for us, it really comes down to, we really need to be more focused on us, because the fact that we have young people in our community walking around right now who are willing to shoot 2-3 people at the same time in broad open daylight, who continuously fly through red lights in stolen cars doing 75 and 80, knowing that you're putting other people in peril. I feel like that presents a situation in our community we've never seen before. So we may be the first to deal with a real serious lost generation of children. Like, I'm really starting to wonder and worry if our kids right now ain't suffering from something we don't even really know the impact of. Because you gotta remember, in 20 or 30 years, when it's their turn to take the reins, how many of them will have turned it around? How many of them will get an opportunity to, if they haven't killed themselves or made it so that they won't ever be free again? I'm feeling like this could potentially really, really, really do damage to our future as a people. This young generation, man, I don't know. I've never, and I thought we were pretty wild. You know what I'm saying? Because we had went through this whole thing with this crack shit. But these young people, they way more, the level of savagery is different now, right? Like, it's like a 1-year-old baby. And then, no, I'm not going to say shootouts didn't happen back in the days and people didn't get hit, but you dropped the baby off at the fire station.
Dumb as a motherfucker.
Like, what the? It's man, it's very sick, man. And once again, we are aware that these issues exist in our community, and I have to stress this again. Black people in the community, when there's violence, are very upset. We do not support this shit.
Can I ask you a question? Are we sure that they dropped the baby off or they took the baby there?
Well,
they took the baby.
Well,
I thought they left the baby.
Either way, that was dumb as a motherfucker. Like, you go to the hospital,
right, or something, right? Like I
you don't go to the fire department. You go to the hospital,
and it may not be accurate for my brothers. I appreciate that on y'all behalf.
Yeah, the fire department took the baby to the hospital, but this was 2 people arguing with in a car with a gun, and someone put a gun on someone, and it accidentally went off. I mean, I think that is more. I'm going to tell you, Kev. I think what we're dealing with, I mean, it's not a gun issue. It's not a kill issue. Kill boys, kill girls, none of that stuff, man. Hyundai. It is an anger issue. But it's also, it's more anger. But I would say this too, though, brother. I would say this too. You cannot excuse white people from the table because they absolutely incite this, like that,
so,
like
Mike,
that bozo. Yeah, go ahead.
Channel 12 says the baby was dropped off at the fire station.
Well, I don't believe the media anyway, though.
Okay.
So
No,
Okay.
Kev, I read that the baby was. See, that's just the difference. I mean, it's the same media. You know, it sounds better to say dropped off. You know, so how in the hell did you get the two and charge them? You know what I mean? They were charged. We're at the hospital, and they gave their rendition of the story, and they
Okay.
were charged. So evidently, they ended up there. That's sensationalism, man. That's bullshit. It just sounds better.
Okay.
You know, it just sounds better. It's not like they ran off and they knew who they were. They knew exactly who they were because they were at the damn hospital. They arrested them.
Okay.
So that's nonsense, man. They took them to the fire department. But what I'm saying is that we're dealing with, you cannot overlook, like you can't say it's a us problem, because my thing is that for the years that we've been here, we've never been left alone. You know what I mean? White folks have always put their hands in the middle of anything we've done. They've always stirred the pot. You can't, because it's like the sister said to me. She said the worst thing that we ever did, like when they built Wall Street, Black Wall Street, she said they forgot one thing. They should have got security. They should have had guns and security.
Right. Oh,
Because here come white folks to burn that shit down.
Did nobody
You know
have
what
a
I mean?
rifle? I've been saying that for years. Ain't nobody have it. Like, damn. Shit.
Yeah, they just thought that because we've never been left alone. We're the most studied people on earth. They put out 1,000 studies. They got us right now looking around and shit like that, talking about 70% of black homes have no fathers in them. And I challenged everybody on Instagram. I did it on Facebook. Shit, I went everywhere and said, I'll give you 5,000 if you can produce a study that said that 70% of black households do not have fathers in them. It was some shit that was started when they said that 70% of the babies were born out of wedlock. And we just ran with that shit. So now we do it. We get on it. 80%, 90%. One nigga said 95% of the house. I was like, God damn, where you get that number from? You know?
Like Sean said, 90% of the crime in Milwaukee came from the hot spot. We was like, whoa, where'd you get that number from? He said 90% of the crime in the country come from the hot spot.
Hold on.
It's in that damn Tyler Perry broadcast news.
I said the majority, 90% of the crime in that specific area.
Hey, Sean, don't worry about it, Sean.
To that store, that corner.
I'm acting like a Black Scott right now. I'm just trolling and
Sean,
shit.
don't worry about it, man.
This motherfucker, I didn't say that shit. When I see you, I'm slapping this shit out of you. Hold on, but look, I'm still on this though. No, come on, man. You know it's all love, man. Come on, Sean.
I'm gonna get my lesbians to jump your ass. Why?
Right. Yeah. Because like I said, y'all wasn't here earlier. Sean declared himself a lesbian. So then there's that, right? Let me see. Now, Paris is in the chat room. He said it all depends on the city and state. I'm in Colorado, a highly militarized state, and the Denver Police Department is full of military recruits and combat veterans. I know there's some on the Milwaukee Police Department. I know, especially brothers who have went to Kuwait and all that. I know they came home and became cops. Let me see. He said we have Cheyenne Mountain and NORAD here, along with other military installations. He said that's how I feel, Kev. There are many ways to kill another person, regardless of the weapon used. He said white people the most fucked up. The one in Nashville. I mean, you can name them. Now, this was my statement about this thing. It said that the child was dropped off and transported to the hospital by the fire department. They made the arrest the next day on the freeway. It was a 27-year-old who was guilty, who was charged. I'm sorry, who was arrested. And then this is the word from Quinn Taylor, who is the Community Violence Prevention Program Coordinator for the city's Office of Violence Prevention. Let me say her title again. The Community Violence Prevention Program Coordinator. She said they went door to door and passed out anti-gun violence resources. And she said last night was another tragedy, just too many of those types of situations happening this year. And he said Sunday's event was planned as part of National Gun Violence Awareness Month. She said what happened Saturday night in the same neighborhood only emphasizes the need for the city to put the guns down. Okay, so I'm looking for something she's saying they're gonna do. I didn't really see I didn't see anything what she said. Okay, so y'all went past. Let me not do that. Because my daughter said, Dad, you be gaslighting people. Let me not do that. Shout out to them, man, for going out the next day and making sure everybody was okay. I'm just saying, man. I thought she was. I'm sorry. Shout out to that sister, man, and the whole crew, right? Damn. Y'all know Milwaukee got a bear. It's a bear. Be careful out here. You know, remember a couple years ago we had the Milwaukee Lion? And my brother, it was funny when my brother was on the show at the time, he came up with this skit that we did where he actually called into the show and acted like he was the lion. And the whole thing was he was saying how he was talking about how he had to get the fuck out of Milwaukee because people were shooting at him, trying to make a coat out of his. I wish I could pull that show up, man, because it was so funny because he was like, we were doing the show and he was like, I gotta go use the bathroom. So I'm like, okay, somebody's on the line. And I pick up the phone. He's like, yeah, man. This is Lion. What do you call himself? Lion or something like that. And he just went through this whole scenario how he had stole a car from up north and came to the city. So when I seen the bear and they said his bear was as close as New Berlin, I'm like, so is this the real cocaine bear? Because if he come to Milwaukee, that's what he's gonna end up being. He's gonna be the real cocaine bear, running through the 31st Street corridor, terrorizing people. I don't know if y'all seen that. I just had to just throw that out there. Let me see if I got anything else. Because we talked about people going to Pride Fest and they straight. We talked about the Lakefront Madness. We talked about the agenda. I think we're good for a Monday night because I'm pretty sure this shit ain't gonna stop. So I want to give everybody a chance to kind of put their stamp on it. We'll start with the witch doctor, man. I know you and T-Rock were very close. And I know how hard that really hit y'all neighborhood. So I want to give you a chance to really give some closing remarks about that brother.
It's my dude, man. I ain't gonna talk much because I'm gonna cry.
Right.
But what I'm gonna say is, what I mean, what I said earlier in the show, man. Gotta create a lane, excuse me, for brothers to be able to come talk. But we could bridge the gap with the youth and the elders. You know what I'm saying? Where they could come put their ego and pride to the side, man, and talk. You know what I mean? Where we could peel the layers back. And get some of these street mindsets out of there and put some business mindsets up in there or something, man. You know what I mean? Find something for them to do, We got all kind of ideas. But I just want to say we got to find something, man, to bridge this gap.
Absolutely. Rail, man, we talked about so much shit tonight. Anything in particular stood out where you said, they let me get my shit off on that one that you like, well, fuck this. I need to finish that.
No, I feel fulfilled and satisfied,
Because I know my show is one where people say we have one thing on here we say all the time, not to cut you off, but usually when somebody says that, they cutting your ass off. So I know motherfuckers be like, hey, this motherfucker just gonna keep. I know you hear me trying to get mine off. It happens sometimes on Outlaw Radio, man, and sometimes the phone accidentally hang up on Sean, and then I got chaos over there. So, but Sean, man, I know you got a lot on your mind about what's going on in the streets because I know that area is actually yours and my community. So, because it's going crazy. I mean, this didn't just start with Yayo, like his homies dying all up and down over there, and it once again, when something's not done, it creeps up to your door. So it hit me with Yayo. Rest in peace to Yayo the Dime, man, a good dude. But this is our community that seems right now is going crazy. What you think about it?
No, man. I honestly, KD, I believe that we missed a component, and I don't know what God everybody prays to, but man, we need to return back to God, man, and putting God first and try to figure it out, man. Sit down together, brainstorm some stuff, man. Every idea is a good idea. It becomes a great idea when everybody can work together on that idea. And until them two things happen, ain't nothing gonna change, brother.
Right. My brother Mike, man, I got to get you on here, because it's always good to have you on the phone, but we got to get you on, so because I know you be having a lot of information for the people, and I'm always when I see your name in the chat room, I'm like, oh, we got Big Mike Kimmon in the house. We finna start some shit tonight. You along with Mama Jenkins. I know if I got you and Mama Jenkins in my chat room, I'm on something. So I'm like, okay, we popping. So we got to get you on, man. But anything you wanted to just kind of drop in here tonight, since you hear that people may not be aware of, or something that
real quick.
Okay.
I just think, brother, we gonna have to get down to truth, man. I think We just haven't had. I mean, it's not your show. I'm talking about overall. We just don't have the truth, man. When I look at this, like Sean, even what you were saying, I'm not knocking the hustle on that, but we have more churches than we've ever had. The problem is you have a liquor store.
You know, I ain't talking about no church.
Hold on, Sean.
Just listen to what I'm saying to you, though. They'll take what you said and say, yeah, we need God, we need this, and you're real with that. I'm just saying, like, yo, the illusion is that you have more churches than we've ever had on every corner. They all over the place. But you also have a liquor store right next to it. And when you look at us and you have more churches, I would say we have less God than we've ever had. So do the math on that. Something is wrong. I think we're just being lied to. And if we're going to have a truthful conversation, you know what I mean? I think one has to be held where it's truthful overall, not with you. Okay, I'm talking about just the black community in general.
Right.
You know what I mean? 50 Cent can't be the killer and the hero all at the same time. You can't get the keys to the city, you know what I mean, to Bootsy without looking at Bootsy's reputation and what he's done. You can't do that, man. Right. We play too goddamn much. You know what I mean? This is a cat that say kill the ops, and we'll bring a cat in from Chicago and give him the key to the city in a matter of minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
We'll take NBA YoungBoy and say he coming to town. NBA YoungBoy, I love him without saying like, hey, this nigga can't come to this city, man. This nigga caused so many problems. Not the way he's moving. So we just have to be truthful with each other, man.
Right.
Be true.
Okay.
You know, send John Morant to jail, but free your little cousin Petey, and he just shot up the whole goddamn block.
Right. Okay.
You know,
right.
Truth.
But kids look up to John.
Suspend him for the rest of his life.
Right.
Free my cousin Petey. He just shot 3 people in the dope house.
It was ops, though. It was ops.
Yeah. You know, it was a 2-year-old child, you know, but free him. No, that's my nigga. You know, so we all backwards, man. Right. Until we find truth, we ain't got shit. So I'm with Sean. All right. God is truth. My man.
All right. So listen, man, we'll be back Wednesday. Share the show. If you just, first time listening or whatever, share the show, get with us. We got some stuff coming up where we'll be a little bit more visible in the future. So man, just rock with us, support us, man. But it's nothing without everybody, right? Like, so we don't want to just be this secluded corner. I love what Kamar said about creating a safe space. And in a lot of ways, I believe this is a component of that, where brothers can really talk about the real shit on here. And yeah, sometimes it's funny, sometimes we laugh, sometimes we joke around, sometimes it gets very emotional. You get to, but it's a place where you can get it off your chest. And nobody's going to look at you sideways. And that's what Outlaw Radio is all about, man. So young, old, thuggish, squared, saved, sinner, whoever, everybody got something to say, right? Like, and sometimes you just got to hear a person out. You'd be surprised. You can learn from anybody, man. I'm one of those individuals who does believe prayer can change things. And I do believe one of the issues that we have in this city is we are a godless people. Because a lot of us don't believe in nothing. Like, to me, it doesn't matter what you call it, but I need for you to believe in something. Because when you don't believe in anything, then you're living a lie, because you don't accept the fact that it's something bigger than you, right? Like, so of course you don't care about life. Of course you don't care about taking somebody's life, because you don't even understand the gift that life actually is. You don't understand that it came from something bigger than us, right? So you're just out here listless and walking around with no direction. And then a lot of times you hang around 4, 5, 6, 7 other people who are just like you. So it's the proverbial blind leading the blind, right? And so what we got to do, like Mike says, is we got to turn the pages on some of the narratives. I've stated this many times, and we've talked about this on the show, that our greatest entertainment sources that we're really loving right now are retellings and romancing of the worst thing that ever happened to us, which was the crack epidemic. We love Snowfall. I love Snowfall. We love watching BMF and Lil Meech and Power about the drug dealers and all of that. And it's like, wait, we shouldn't be laughing at this shit. We shouldn't be entertained by it. I get it. People say, Kev, it's just a movie. But this is retelling of things that actually did happen, right? I was listening to Rock the Bells radio today, and they had Rick Wershey on there doing a piece during the segment. White boy Rick from Detroit, who lived in the hood, sold tons of cocaine, and set up plenty brothers to go to the prison. Why is he on Rock the Bells radio? it's that twisted narrative that and that's what I say we have this lost generation of people. My brother referenced NBA Youngboy and all these rappers. These are the dudes who our youngsters are listening to. Let's be honest, right? They ain't listening to Joe Schmo, old Kev, who now got a job and want to grow tomatoes in his gardens and all this kind of stuff. Got him some degrees and all that. They want to listen to the young and thuggin', and they feel like that's all that they're left with. So there is a need for a reprogramming of sorts, but you can't just take that out. There's a lot of other shit that we were fed as children in elementary school that you have to take out too. Like we talk about, most of us growing up on this pyramid that was supposed to be the pyramid for nutrition, came to find out that none of the shit they told you was good for you on that pyramid is actually good for you. But they told us that, right? So we got to deprogram ourselves from a lot of stuff. But you know, that's why we have these conversations. I don't expect to say the world with a podcast. And I always tell people on Outlaw Radio, we don't tell you what to think. We just try to ask you to think. That's it in a nutshell, right? And so that's why this is a show where you're never wrong, because 9 times out of 10 it's your opinion, right? So, and everybody got one, man. In the meantime and in between time until Wednesday night, man, y'all stay strong, keep your head on a swivel, and make sure that you move with intent. And I feel like as a black man in some shape, form, or fashion, you should always be willing to give back in any way you can. And that means if you're working with one youngster or if you're working with 1,000 youngsters, it's the same contribution. It's my steady dedication to try and contribute something positive and lead the community or the world a better place than it was when I found it. Because if you get down like that, then you know your contribution to the community is not outweighed by your criticism of it. And when you do meet somebody who's of that mindset, you can be very, 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 very assured and feel comfortable to tell them you a motherfucking coon, right? So peace and love, man. Capitol Drive and Atkinson, prayers up. I usually say stand up. Tonight I'm gonna say prayers up, man. And if you lost somebody, God bless and condolences, man. Peace and love. I'll see y'all Wednesday night.
Peace.